Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Poker. You know the game?
Clobberanimo!
Come get some.
It's clobberin time!
The word is given.
Clobberanimo!
Yeah. Greetings, clobberers, clobberanimos, clobberoids, clobberooskies, clobberians, clobologists, all who clobber. Greetings to you, my friends. And if you do not yet clobber, worry not. Perhaps one day you will learn to bang the rocks together, guys. Oh, my goodness. All right. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Clobberin Times issue number 474 on YouTube, of course. 1,704 overall for the past just about 15 years. And it's Wildcard Wednesday night with your host, Clobby. You and Clobby just hanging out. Because that's what we do. And it's just an open geekness. So we'll just, anything goes, my good friends. And I'll do some show noties and some shout outies. And then we will get down to beeswax, which is really nothing more than me just hanging out with you tonight. And anything you want to talk about is fair game because it is the wild card. So sometimes the wild card is just that, open geekness. And we talk about whatever we feel like it, including whatever you feel like, whatever I feel like. And then, of course, hey, we sometimes we have a topic on a Wednesday night. So that's what we keep it wild for. But some show notes. First, again, thank you all, everyone, for hanging out with me Monday night Marks and Comics Talk the other night. It was great fun talking some Silver Surfer with you all. And I appreciate that. Let's see. What do we got? I had a great time also on the Great Stone Loki's channel tonight with that great comic book roundtable gang, and I appreciate them. And I appreciate everyone who showed up for that. It's a busy night there on the YouTubes. So I thank anyone who was here. If anyone who was lurking or watching on a download later, appreciate you so much. Let's see, tomorrow night, the clubhouse is in session. Again, let's see here. It will, of course, be my wonderful first officer, Commander R.M. Briggs, and the great Mark D. with a C, the Chief Engineer. We will have a Blake 7-episode review, the second episode of Kolchak the Night Stalker TV series review, and then, of course, the first issue of Star Trek Unlimited, the Star Trek comic from 1997. All that and much more. And then Friday night's a great night for FF. Yes, indeed. on my great buddy J-Man's channel, Sean J-Man and myself. Just last week began Fantastic Fridays, as of course chronicling the legendary Jack Kirby, the King of Comics, run on the world's greatest comic magazine. That's right, Fantastic Four, 1 through 102, and all 6 of the annuals. That is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday night. And then later, of course, I often hang out with the great buddies, Nicholas, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, I should say. Sorry about that. Nick's great channel, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. Said it better that time a little bit. Sorry. That's Friday Night Comic Shop Talk, 8:30 Central Standard Time almost each Friday night. One time every now and then they miss one, but for the most part, they're on every other night. On most nights, on Friday nights, I should say. That great Friday Night Comic Shop gang. And then there's, of course, Saturday Night Star Trek. That's right, folks. Reviewing all of real Star Trek, 1966 to 2005. The 735 Club, the only legit Star Trek that there is. And we are now just getting underway in season 6 of Star Trek Voyager. Not the same. All my shows, this is the same Trek Time, same Clobby channel, but all of my shows, all 4 of the ones I do here on my channel, are of course 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm all over the place. Sorry about that. And then finally, of course, End Your Week in Geek on the great Mark D with the C's channel, the Sunday Night Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our good buddy hosts us there to have just a little bit of off-the-wall fun to have a nice ending to the week. I have a video out there now that I put up last week, Clobby versus the X Twitch, just kind of putting into perspective the whole issue of the Silver Surfer movie casting for the FF. And coming soon to a Clobby channel near you. I'm going to rank every episode of Star Trek, the original series, very, very soon. Let's see who's here with us tonight in the chat. But first, of course, we'll shout out our wrenches. Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher. As in the wrencher of bronze. And whether they're here or not, they get the shout out, of course. Eric K., I think, is in Vegas with that great group over there. So I hope he's having a good time. Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North. D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. All right, buddy. Lord Thoth and Lady Thoth. Of course, Avon lives long, live the Legion, the Wrench Without Fear, the great J-Man, Maddie's Daddy, Super Wrench Kal-El, Phantom Outsider, Maximum Redstone, and the Triple Winkle Wrench, Larry. Now, let me see who's in the chat. The chat there. Oops. All right. Okay, let's see who's with us. FKHC 2005. What's up, Tim? Good to see you. Putin's Cat. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing well. Ravenscroft. Hey there. Suzanne Eckstein. Hey there, Suzanne. Hope you're doing well, my dear. Good to see you. Brogu from my old hometown. DJ Play Nice. What's up, dude? Penny. Hey, Penny. What's up, dear? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. My doctor says I have adenoclobinoma. Oh my goodness, this sounds fatal. But yeah, it's good to see you all here. Anyone who, again, as I said, anyone lurking or watching on a download or a rewatch, thank you so much. It is very much appreciated. So let's see what's going on tonight, folks. Kind of trouble we can get to. Again, our good buddies. I know Gary at Nerdrotic and all the good friends over there. That the fellowship that we're friendly with. We're having the big Vegas meetup thing. They're starting tonight. They're all going to be in Vegas for the next few days. And as those just watching Gary finish his stream up, and it was cool seeing him over there. And I hope they all have a fantastic time. Shout out to him and congrats to him for his channel crossing 1 million subs. Very much deserved. Great feller, great guys over there. So, and I shout out to them and salute them. Let's see. what else is? But what's going on out there? We should talk about. Of course, as I said, Monday night we talked about Silver Surfer. Let's see here. I guess one thing to talk. I don't know. Hey, Guagnar, what's up, buddy? Are any of you watching the X-Men '97 cartoon? I'll get to that in a second because I want to answer Ravenscroft. Anybody has any questions you want to talk about, by the way, throw it out there. Kay Roberts, hey there. Yeah, Ravenscroft, I saw the Joker 2 trailer. Hey, Claude Salling, hey there. I didn't like the first movie, so obviously I'm going to be a little biased. Okay, Brogu, we'll get to it in a minute. Cool. But I'll address that trailer first. So again, if you like the first movie, maybe you'll get interested in this trailer. I didn't like the first one. I mean, look, many of you may already know my take on the first. Oh, thank you, Wagner. Yeah, just getting close, but it's edging. It's like it's all, but yeah, to the 2,000 mark. But who knows? Maybe one of these days. Maybe one of these days it'll get there. But thank you, Gwag. I mean, my interest is little to none, and I didn't like the first either. Says Ravenscroft. Yeah, I just look. Hey, Rewade Nation Gaming, good to see you there. It's just not what I look. First of all, even if it were a movie about the actual Joker from actual DC Comics Batman villain, which it was not, this movie had nothing to do with the real deal Joker. Look, they paid DC. Man, somebody got robbed, dude. I guess they had no choice. They just thought they would make a movie that they could, suck off of the popularity of the character of the DC Comics Joker, and they made a movie that was interesting to people, but they were able to get a little more budget because it was a known comic book property, but it was just an excuse to get a big budget for a comic, for an art film, basically, which was kind of like a hodgepodge, or not quite a remake of Taxi Driver, but almost like an amalgamation of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy in an art film. And they were pretty smart of them, I guess. They used a DC Comics property name, and that's what this thing is, name only. They didn't call it The Joker, just Joker. And it made $1 billion for some reason. I know this was at a weird time. You had the coof going on and all that kind of stuff. And you had the controversy about a bunch of jackasses saying that if anybody wants to go see this movie, it's an incel and all this other kind of horse shit. It was weird, but is that the reason why it made $1 billion? I'll never understand how that movie made $1 billion, but I'm not put in this world to get it, Mr. Benton. The fact is, it did. It made over $1 billion. Why did it make over $1 billion? I went one time, so I contributed to it, I guess. Curiosity. And at that time, we were just getting to where we could go back to movies. And Ravenscroft makes an interesting point. I'm tired of the heroifying of Joker. Yeah. First movie was Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, exactly, Redux. And I'm tired of them trying to make Harley a thing. Oh, and a musical? Nah, I'm right there with you. First of all, everything about that I totally agree with. I'm sick of Harley Quinn. She's never been a particularly good character to me. She was all right on the animated series and in the Mad Love story, which was done in a comic first and then done in the animated series. And she's okay in some stories. How she became popular, her popularity as a comic book character says more about comics and a certain generation than it says about the character, in my opinion. She was okay in some of those stories, but only because she was only okay because of how she bounced off of the Joker, and the way they kind of made it was kind of funny how they made that crazy love story. And then there was one story where the Joker wasn't in it that was actually excellent. Batman the Animated Series. There were a couple of them, but there's one that didn't even have the Joker in it. It was just about her. Totally blanking out on the title of the episode, which is unusual for me, but I'm old and senile, but it was really good. However, hey, Parker Luck. Don't worry, I'm going to start comments and have anything to ask, and I'll get to all of them, I promise. But that said, again, this is just my opinion. A lot of people, if you like Harley, that's fine. She became Hot Topic Harley later in the DC comics when they tried to give her own life and all the other kind of stuff. And just that's fine. It just wasn't for me. And, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't do it or anything like that. To me, that's the only use I have for the character is a couple of those animated series episodes, and that's it. As a comic character, she means nothing to me. And as a movie character, she means nothing to me. Just that those few up stories, but doesn't matter what I think. A lot of people love her, and that's just the way it's going to be. It's not like so I'm just saying. I'm only giving you my take on her. She's very popular. There's absolutely no denying that. It doesn't matter if I don't get into it. So, and I love at least Margot Robbie's really kind of cute and hot to look at, and even like in that, I hated the Suicide Squad, the first movie. The Suicide Squad was mildly amusing in some ways, but I didn't really care for it that much. Hey, Empress and him. But she was kind of funny in it, I'll admit. I just like her, but all that be that as it may, I'm not a big Lady Gaga fan anyway. Of course, if you are a Harley fan, and one thing you need to know, if you're a Joker fan or a Harley fan, this movie has nothing to do with those characters. The first movie had nothing to do with the Joker. It's called Joker, and it's arguable, even if everything was in his head and all that stuff or not. So I don't even care. But the movie's, in my opinion, it's tedious and pretentious. Phoenix's performance is really good. I'll say that as a movie, but this is not. I don't know. So a lot of people really just come away saying it's a masterpiece. It's so brilliant. If it wasn't a movie called Joker, and wasn't trying to exploit a brand name just to make money, for something that had. In other words, it's disingenuous. Hey, Simply Steve, it's disingenuous because you took a character out, and again, it's not like the Joker or any character sacrosanct. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, it's just you guys take a character that's from some other brand and you use it in this case to make an art film with a bigger budget because of that brand. And, you can do it, but, hey, Larry, buddy, you could do it, but I just don't. Hey, Fanty, it doesn't do much for me. The salty traveling, say, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, sir. It's look, I'm not knocking anyone who likes that movie, that first one. I just don't get into it. And again, I find it disingenuous that they had to, to get the thing greenlit with a lot of money. They used the DC property, but it's nothing to do with the character. And let's just say that didn't matter to me. Another thing that does is I don't think the Joker needs his own movie in any stretch of the imagination. Just like this upcoming Penguin TV show. What a bore. I'm tired of villains taking center stage anyway. Marvel's doing it. Now DC gets out and does it. Marvel's got, and it's because Sony doesn't have much of the Spider property left that they could really exploit. So they do Venom movies. I'm one of those weirdos because I know a lot of people like Venom. I never could stand Venom. A Morbius movie, kind of a borderline villain anti-hero. Still, what a waste! What a dumb idea. And now, Madam Web, terrible idea. Craven, that movie got put on the shelf. Why is there a Craven movie? Why? Now I know those are all just trying to be comic versus this. Todd Phillips made an art film out of it, so he gets all this shielding of it's odds, it's an avant-garde that just happens to be using a DC property, Joker, and it made $1 billion. So he's this. I guess there's no criticizing it. There's only giving it from a personal point of view, finding the movie to be, while it's interesting, I found it disingenuous calling it Joker, and it's nothing to do with the character. So that kind of, I think I'm a fanboy that way, I suppose, but I just didn't really get into it that much either. And I found it highly derivative, not only of by using that name, but as we've all pointed out here already, highly derivative of Taxi Driver meets King of Comedy, which it's all fine and good, but just not what I want out of anything that's a comic book property in a movie. And I'm kind of tired of comic book movies anyway. I don't call it fatigue. There's something else at play with it for me than just fatigue. It's not really fatigue in a sense. However, all that said, a lot of people love the first movie. And this trailer for this second one, really, I mean, like, wow. This looks like more of the same. It's going to get praised pretty well, I think. Hey, David Glenn, welcome. I think it's going to get high praise. I just look at that and I just don't. How are you excited about that thing? That one looks more boring than the first one because the trailer for the first one, I'll admit, made it look mildly interesting. And then I went to see it and I was like, eh. Indeed, Salty. So this trailer didn't look interesting to me. I mean, she doesn't look like, she's not Harley, and they're not even going to pretend. It's just so, ugh. Look, I don't like to piss on anyone's parade, man. Look, if you like it and you get something out of it, that's cool. And I'm not trying to be that guy that pisses anybody's cornflakes, but I'm just saying that the hype and the excitement, personally, I guess maybe I'm jealous of you to be excited about something because it's fun to be. Look, as geeks, let's be honest, it's fun to be excited about something. It is, man. So if you're excited about something, then more power to you. I bear you no ill will. I'm just speaking from a fanboy standpoint, and my own opinion is that I don't like the disingenuousness of something like this, using Joker to make your own little art film. But be that as it may, a lot of fans didn't care about that. They just liked it. I don't know. But I wonder if a lot of people like it, or did they just go in with this psychological aspect? Remember, everyone was, a lot of them were getting called incels, if you like that movie. So they went in like this defiant, yeah, we'll go see it and we'll see how great it is. Maybe in the back of I always thought maybe in the back of the minds of some people, because of those morons who were calling everyone incels for liking it, they went and they praised it and took part in this kind of strange mass psychosis that the movie is great, just so they could throw it back in the faces of the morons who were unrightly, just calling people names for liking it without even seeing it at the time. You still remember all that kerfuffle that went on. And I wonder if it was almost like the popularity of the film was something of a backlash to the idiocy surrounding the fake controversy about the movie. And then they got, it's really cool because it pissed off all those SJW reviewers and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. That's a theory. I'm not saying it's true. But it is a theory of mine. I got to say it sometimes. Again, that's all. That's all. Didn't say it was true. I do wonder that because I wonder weird things sometimes. I'm that way. I'm flawed in that way. But hey, yep, Salty. We all want to see a Captain Cave movie. So, but whatever, man. People are. I think just some people. Maybe look. I guess some people. We're all different. A lot of people like the edgy stuff. Me, not so much. I can't say that I'm big all that big into the edgy stuff. Just I don't know. Guess it doesn't do it for me. But that's okay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? Bop 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 bop. And so Joker 2, Electric Boogaloo. So I know I know that's not the real title. I just can't remember exactly what the title is off the top of my head. But um, look, it'll be. I'll put it to you like this: I went out of curiosity to the first one. I shall not be bothering with this new one. So if people who like the first one are pleasantly surprised and pleased, why should I care? Yeah, I mean, look, because a lot of them are people that I like. I have a lot of people that I like. Um, a lot of people that I like that first one. So if they're happy the second time, I should be happy for them, right? Why be petty? Because I'll tell you something about comic book movies and that I'm kind of the way I'm leaning now these days. And I've actually kind of been going this way for a while. If they do happen to stumble out a good one here and there, fine. I'll enjoy it and say it's good. But if I could, like I said, I talk about this sometimes. If I can make quote unquote a deal with the devil, if you were, I don't mean literally, of course, but if I can make a deal and I said, look, if you'll shut your stupid fat geek mouth about our live action comic movies, hey JD Lewis, what's up, buddy? If you stop moaning about live action comic book movies, hey Adrian James, then we'll give you something. We'll give you a gift. What do you want? My answer would be, okay, I want you guys to let me decide what kind of animated comic book movies you made. In other words, you guys, no matter what you do in live action, I won't say a word about it. But let me decide which, at least give me 2 animated movies a year. One from Marvel, one from DC. I'm making a deal with the gods now, right? They say, okay, we're tired of hearing you fat ass complain all the time about the comic book movies. I'm going to say, all right, let me get what I want. Because personally, I like animation better, 2D animation in particular, adaptations of comic books that I love, and I get to choose what they do with them. Man, I'd say, look, do animated versions, because you can certainly do it now with the technology of some of the great comic book sagas, like movies and or series. Man, you do that, and I would rather that than live action movies any day. Not that I don't like some of the live action movies, of course I do. But you're not going to do those anymore. You're going to still make the Marvel MCU, and you put James Gunn in charge of the DC stuff. So I mean, you're letting James Gunn make a Superman movie. So you guys just you're not for me anymore. Right, Fanty, a real deal animated Legion of Superheroes, not the filth that they did. Empress, that's exactly right. Godzilla fans are having the best of both worlds. We get one really great movie in Godzilla -1, which is substantive, a wonderful human story that has really great Godzilla stuff in it, and a great movie. And then we get Godzilla X Kong. Personally, I enjoyed it. A movie I enjoyed is just a silly, fun, popcorn movie with monsters, knocking each other all over the place. It actually, as silly as it was, Kong's actually the best character in it, in my opinion. But it's silly, dopey, fun. So there you go. So it's a good time to be a big G fan, a Godzilla fan. But anyway, do some adaptations of some comic book characters. Let me see what some of my friends said here real quick. Brogu from my old hometown said, I think the Joker musical is going to be interesting. The trailer is telling me something that I hadn't thought of. The musical seems to be in the minds of Joker and Harley, while in the real world. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, doesn't mean much to me, but I hear you. Let's see. Brogu says, I'm watching X-Men 97. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. All right, let's see. Okay, I don't want to spoil or anything, but anyone watching X-Men 97 who is watching and who watched the new one that dropped last night or this morning, whatever. You're not late. Real Wave Nation, you're not late. Excuse me. There are 5 episodes already, and I like it so far. It's, if you're a big fan of that cartoon, so far it's pretty similar to what was, to the old stuff, to the old show. Clobby, have you seen the Joker trailer yet? Adrian, yes, I've just been talking about that. I did see the trailer. I just got through explaining I'm not a big fan. I didn't like the first movie. So the trailer does nothing for me, but if you're looking forward to it, I just wish you the best of luck and hope you get the movie you want to see. But it's weird that the new episode last week they had like it was part 1 of something. And now this week they didn't do part 2. I guess we're just going to come up later. So this week almost felt like it was out of place. It almost seemed like it was a season ender or something, but not really. I mean, it was only episode 5. So, but it was pretty interesting. Actually, without spoiling, to say that if you saw that episode, man, there's so much. I mean, again, I'm not, full disclosure, not the biggest X-Men guy, to be honest with you. I like them fine. They don't even make my top 5 or 6 all-time favorite super teams, but some people are huge into the X-Men as their favorite. I get it. I've liked certain runs on the book. I liked some of the characters. I really liked the Claremont Byrne run. But for the most part, and of course, I love the Kirby's original run a little bit. He didn't do it long, but and some of the others, the Neil Adams stint, the Steranko issues, but not big on the I mean, they're not my favorite, but I like them fine. I mean, they're I like, and that's for the old cartoon. I watch by the time by the time the X-Men 90s cartoon dumped and was dropped in the 93, 92 or 94, whatever it was. I had long since dropped the X-Men comic book. So that cartoon, which has probably the coolest opening music theme of any cartoon ever, I didn't care much for the lineup. I mean, most of it was okay, but I can't stand Gambit and I can't stand Jubilee. So that always bugged me. We got that whole series, we got very little Nightcrawler, very, very little Colossus. When I dropped the book many years before that, almost a decade before. So I wasn't sanguine about the lineup. But I watched it sporadically back in the 90s. Well, a couple years back, I went and binged the whole thing. And enjoyed it. There were a lot of things. I don't like the way they adapted certain things. I really didn't care for the way they adapted the Dark Phoenix saga and a few other things. However, it was still fun watch. I think the final season had a really terrible animation. Like they went cheapo on it. Went to a cut rate company. I don't know. Sure felt that way to me. Sure looked that way to me. But it was a fun watch. And so when they announced this a couple years back, everybody who were fans of that show, bigger fans than I, were really excited. I was cautiously optimistic. I'm like, wow, that's a good idea, but man, it's modern Disney, right? Right? I mean, Disney, you're not going to do anything stupid, are you? so in the days, weeks, months, whatever, leading up to the release of this show, the X-Men 97, as they're calling it, there was a lot of controversy, as you may know. A lot of people were talking a little bit about it, like people who made the show. Very some fans, because it was Disney, very very rightly expressed some concern that the cartoon would be the old W word, if you know what I mean, the wokey, and it would have a lot of agenda crap in there, and the people and a lot of the SJW NPC types were defending, saying, "Well, that's what the X-Men's always been." And there was that dumb argument, but so fights ensued, and it was not helped along by the idiot producer who, strangely enough, was fired a week before the thing released for reasons still not disclosed. People have hypothesized, but nobody knows why. And I won't go into it. He's still tweeting dumb crap, but so obviously Disney did nothing to disabuse fans of this notion that it might be all full of agenda crap and stuff now. And even like it started, some of the pictures, preliminary pictures, kind of look like that. Yeah, I mean, I understand that Putin's cat. That's not why they fired him. We'll put it to you like this. Usually when they fire somebody, they say why. This guy had so much oppression Olympics armor that they must have fired him for something way worse than that, than doing what you said he did. I'm still not convinced that's the reason why, because of what the kind of person that guy was, and I don't mean it in a bad way, just what because of his he had certain protections considering. I think you all know what I mean. The kind of agenda the guy had, and with his identity and all that stuff. If you see where I'm coming from, he had certain force fields and force bubbles and protections that make me skeptical that they would even ever dare fire a guy like that unless something really is going on that they were trying to get out in front of. I don't know, and I don't even care. But that sent up red flags, and fans were like, "Oh man, they're going to really make this agenda crap and all this stuff." Because even some of the people who were working on the show were saying shit like that in public, like, "Hey, we're going to piss off all the bigots," and all some kind of crap. Now, I don't agree with you, Putin's cat. Not with the protection this guy has. He probably did more. But the thing is, even if you're right, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't necessarily think you might not. I'm saying that I don't lean towards agreeing with you. However, you could be right. And if you're right, then they didn't say it. Whereas usually they tell you why they fire somebody. And they haven't done that. So maybe they fired him for that, but they're too cowardly to admit it. But usually they tell you. That's a good policy, Putin. Yeah. Well, I mean, Empress and M. It might be that, but I don't. I mean, I'm not so sure considering who we're talking about here. I mean, look at Disney's run by a bunch of degenerates, so I'm not so sure. They don't have to tell the public, no, but they usually do. I'm saying, I'm not saying. I just think it was something else that they don't want to talk about. So they might, because remember, even though we know that he had an OF page and did that, we know that. But yeah, we know that. But they never said this is why they're firing him. You're right; they don't have to. I just have a call it a gut feeling. You might be right. I don't think so, considering the woke armor the guy has, considering the protections he has. But anyway. But suit yourself. Believe what you want. What I'm saying is, so anyway, the cartoon actually drops 2 episodes. Now we're up to 5 episodes, and there's nothing really, really crazy out there about it that's any different from the old show. It's got all the same beats. It looks close. Obviously, it's modern day, so the animation's going to vary a tad. Kind of the opening theme's a little bit slightly different, but the point is, it's pretty decent so far. I think people who are fans are enjoying it so far. I like it, and they haven't really pissed me off. That's a good point. Hey, you might be right about that, about the whole thing with you mentioning there with Gina. Putin's cat, you could absolutely be right. I have no idea. Like I said, I know nothing. I'm speculating based upon their record. And again, if you're right, great. I'm just, I don't know. I got a weird feeling about it, but it's not like I'm saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't know. It seems like it would be more to it than me, but you could be absolutely 100% correct. I guess I'll never know, so there's no point in arguing. But anyway, I think the cartoon's pretty good so far. Last night's episode, though, this new one that dropped, I won't be spoiler if because I don't think you've seen it yet, Putin's cat. But and some of you who do watch it haven't seen it yet. I think at first I was getting I was kind of laughing because the old cartoon had this too. I was kind of like, man, this is like Chris Claremont on steroids. It was that episode last night. This show is already a soap opera. The old show was a soap opera, and this show's just like it. So that's not a criticism, but I was almost kind of laughing, like, man, the melodrama, the a lot of soap opera stuff. Wow, I now see why I dropped the book way back when I did. It's easier to watch on a cartoon than it is reading in a comic about 4 billion words a page by Chris Claremont. Granted, boy, that man was verbose in his writing. And this was kind of like that. Then it started picking up, and then it ended in, hey, Darth, what's happening, sir? It ended in a very dramatic, very drastic, kind of way. So it was crazy, but it just felt like an episode that would have been that. I don't know. Wow. Was Odo on DS9 male? Yes, he was. They always refer to him as he. I did just now, of course. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they choose or not Putin's cat, but they had that male and female changelings. And remember, Odo barely knew who he was until Dr. Mora helped him learn. And so, yeah, he's pretty masculine changeling. So that's a good question, and I don't have an answer for you there. Yeah, I never have too many answers, but I have always, but I do create more questions sometimes. So it was a pretty good episode. Just like last week was a fairly interesting episode, and so far the show's pretty good. We have 5 more to go, but last night felt like it was out of place, and I'm probably wrong. I'm just saying. It was really dramatic. It was really drastic, and I'm like, man, what are they going to do after this? It almost felt like a cliffhanger, but it's not. We have 5 more to go. And something about the theme, though. Does anyone else think the theme song's slightly off? I'm tired of Morph. He's annoying. Could he be a They something really drastic happens in this episode. Putin's cat, I agree about that. If it's anyone, it would be the. You're right. If anyone was going to be like that, it would be shapeshifters. But back then, remember, it was the early '90s. We didn't have a society that was obsessed with that and being controlled by narratives like that anymore. So they just had made it, had male changeling and female changelings, and they weren't, DS9 wasn't really concerned with that kind of agenda. They just wanted to tell good stories. And sometimes they did. And sometimes they, you might think they didn't. But, yeah, so, who knows? But luckily, at that point, TV wasn't to be written through that prism of our modern day now, the presentism that we live in now. So they could just do stories about, men and women, and that was that. And because they didn't have to focus on a bunch of nonsense, they were able to make better and more entertaining programs. Unlike now, program. So far, I'm really, like I say, if you are a fan of the old show and you have not watched it yet, Dumb Soap 9, Larry. It was. And you have not watched it yet, but you did like the old one. If you ever get a chance to check it out, I'm not saying you should go get Disney Plus or anything. The only reason I can see it is because my daughter has the codes, and I use her codes because I don't have it. I don't subscribe to it, and she's nice enough to let me use her code thingies. And I just watched that so I could talk about it. I mean, if I couldn't watch it, I wouldn't really care that much. But it's pretty cool. And they've got a lot of other DC animation. Marvel animated shows on there that I like to watch. Poot says, if I could animate, I would make my own X-Men opening with my own characters. I wish I could do that now. Wow, I wish I could do that too, now that you mention it. Yeah, I don't like Gambit, but I'm not going to say much more about him right now. But I wish, yeah. I mean, last week, or was it the week before? They had that stuff with Madeline Pryor and the baby of Scott and Madeline or whatever, and her being the clone of Jean. It was weird. I heard that they're going to make Silver Surfer a woman, Darth says. Yeah, they are. Well, they're going to use, they're going to take Silver Surfer's woman on Zenlob, Shella Bal, his woman he loves, and just let her be the Silver Surfer instead of Norrin Rad, because, Galactus, that's the way he swings. So, yeah. To me, my board, I am Norrin Rad. I was once the Silver Surfer. I spanned and surfed the spaceways for almighty Galactus, finding planets to serve him, to feed him, for 58 years. And then some jackass named Kevin Feige decided that my Shalabal should be me instead. And so here I am, not going to be in a movie. Good. I'm grateful to Kevin Feige, to keep me out of this shitty Fantastic Four movie they're making. Thank you, pal. But I wish you wouldn't torture my wonderful Shella Bal that way. Empress M says, do they really think... Let's see, sorry. Do they really think that's going to pull in 50% of the population as viewers? No, they won't. No, it's not going to do anything. They don't... These are people... They don't think, hey, when they're making their films, we should do what we think people want to see. They don't think like that. They're not thoughtful people at all. They don't think. They think DEI, and that's no thought goes into DEI. In other words, they cast, as I've talked about before. And back in February, we saw the release of the cast, and even if you don't like the actors they cast, that's irrelevant. They cast them to look pretty much, similar to the way they're supposed to look in the comic books. So that's 4 characters already that are all, let's just be honest. And I know Pedro Pascal is like a Latino. He's European. He's got light skin. In other words, all the characters are European, and they're whiteys pretty much, according to people who don't think. So they pretty much are. They look, they don't represent the whole spectrum of people, which is astonishing that they did that. Whether you like any of the actors or not, and I think their castings are fine, but whether you like them or not, it's one thing. It's astonishing to me that they went that route. Because again, we all know Pedro is, he's Latino, but people who don't know any better just see a big, tall, white looking dude, because he can play anything. Personally don't know about him playing Reed Richards, but who knows? He's a good actor. He could probably do it. A lot of people hate him. I think he's a jerk, but in real life, but it's a good actor. But that's beside the point. Whether he's good in it or not, he could look close to enough like the Reed Richards from the comic to make you think there's no difference. Again, and everybody else looks close enough. So, in fact, they look closer to the characters than the Fan Four Stick cast did in 2013 when it was cast. But so that's astonishing that Disney did that. I'm still astonished by it. So the first announcement they make after the main cast is a character that, if you're doing a Fantastic Four movie, doesn't even belong in the first movie. The Silver Surfer should. I mean, I know they put Silver Surfer in that second Sony movie, and that was fine because they decided to jump to Galactus. Fine, but Galactus maybe in your. Now, of course, this might be at the tail end, and they put like a Silver Surfer at the beginning, at the very end of the first one, and then setting up for the next one or some kind of that horse hockey. Probably what they're talking about here. But they announced it to be, just to get attention. I don't know. But no, this Fanty says the FF represented 80% of the U.S. population in 1961. Today, they'd only represent about 70%+ of the U.S. population. That's still not. I'm still a lot. Yeah, so so there's still a lot. And that's not a bad drop off considering it's freaking 60+ years. I mean, it's 63 years. So and that dropped off by 10%. If that's, again, I don't know about those numbers, but Fanty, I'll take your word for it with those numbers. So it astonishes me that Disney did that. That casting still, I mean, I'm not either thrilled about it nor upset about it. This casting that we learned about back in February. Because they're not going to get the movie right anyway. It could be the best casting in the world. It won't matter. But this is more like what I expected of Disney in the first place. Them doing something absolutely idiotic like this casting of this young girl as the Shalabal as the Silver Surfer. I'm not going to play that dumb game, the Shalabal version of the Silver Surfer. Earth X, 3 total images from Earth X, which there are 3 total images, does not count. Doesn't make her a legitimate comic book version. You play that game all you want, you're just being disingenuous or stupid. So it's just stupid. I mean, people say you must be really. I'm not really pissed. I'm only pissed at the people running around lying and saying that there's a valid precedent for a Shalabal Silver Surfer in comics when there is not a valid precedent. 3 images on an alternative universe comic book from 24 freaking years ago doesn't count. I mean, it's not a substantive precedent whatsoever. Joe Dog, what's up? It just isn't. It's stupid. And to say it is shows you're just being a jerk off. Chris says, well, Galactus is the male. It kind of makes sense he'd want to cover his female herald in that chrome skin if he has to stare at her while leading him to a world to devour. Are you saying Galactus is a male chauvinist pig? Yeah. I hear you though, Chris. Hey, let's see. So it's just stupid. It's just a bunch of boring horse shit. It doesn't matter. Like I said, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean much because the movie wasn't going to be any good anyway. Now they're not even trying, though. Before this, there was some Putin, you bad one. There was some reasonable, plausible deniability that there was some people could be fooled. Here's the thing. If they hadn't announced stupid shit like this, they were still going to get a lot of people giving them the benefit of the doubt that it might be good. Not me. I know it's not going to be good. But some people were still probably willing to say, hey, you never know. That casting isn't so bad. Maybe it's going to be good. We'll see who Dr. Doom is. Now, the one I can't wait to see is the Dr. Doom casting. That is going to be, if you think this was something, it was silly to do this now, but they did it. Doctor Doom casting. Look, if they cast that anywhere close to decent, I'm going to be just like it was in February, even more shocked. Even more shocked. Look, if Doctor Doom is actually a man, I'm going to be shocked. I'm going to be shocked. Now, if he's a European man, I won't not be able to believe it. I'll be astonished. Because of course we know Doctor Doom should be. I mean, that's what he is. He's very regal, like a, type of character. A lot of, some kind of, really great British actor would probably be great. I'm not sure exactly who. So if they cast the right guy for the job that you go, yeah, I can see him as Doom, that will astonish me. It's going to be someone who's may or may not be a good actor, but they're going to be someone that doesn't fit the look of the character before he puts his armor on, if you know what I'm saying. Something I hate is the people. I'll say Ravenscroft says, something I hate is that people seem to think being made into a movie is like a step up from being a comic. Very good point. I hate that too. While some things, Watchmen, were intended to be comics alone, and that's fine. Yeah, Watchmen never should have been adapted, to be honest. But let's face it, we were all curious to see it when they said they were going to finally do it. It's a double-edged sword for me because I'll be a hypocrite on that. I said, please never do a Watchmen movie. And then when they were talking about it, I said, well, if they do it, they should cast this, that, the other. So, yeah, I got to admit, I was curious to see it like a lot of people were. Parker Lux says, Bobby, what is your favorite Silver Surfer story? If I can, I think probably, other than the Coming of Galactus, which is more of an FF story. I just reviewed the Silver Surfer graphic novel the other day, the Jack Kirby one, on Monday night, and it was sort of a revised version of his origin. That was because it was a Stan wanted to pitch a movie to Hollywood, so Jack created that comic and wrote, plotted it and drew it and all that stuff. And it was done as a Fireside graphic novel. It was not a comic book per se, but it was in a graphic novel format for Fireside. It was really the first Marvel graphic novel, but it was in conjunction with Fireside Books. And it's a story that was considered to be, it was like an 80-something page story with like a movie pitch. And it is, the origin just retold without the FF or any other superheroes in it. And he added a lot of stuff to it. I think that's a great story. I just reviewed it. I just reviewed it the other night here on Monday night. And so probably that one. I also love I love in his original series, the Silver Surfer series, which started in 1966 with Stan's name as writer and the great John Buscema and Joe Sun on the art. Silver Surfer #4, where he fights Thor, is one of my favorite Silver Surfer comics. FF #55 is also one of my favorite comics, Parker, when it's kind of a ridiculous premise, but I love it. Where it was Silver Surfer comes back to Earth and he's talking to Alicia, and Benz gets all jealous and stuff and starts beating the crap out of him and has a big battle with the Thing. It was sheer nonsense, but I love it because of the great Kirby battle and stuff. Ben was way unreasonable, but I kind of love that one. Let's see. Silver Surfer. Let me find. Oh, get out of here. Come on, man. Sorry, I'll track it down here. This is probably one of my favorite issues of the Silver Smurfer. It's been a long time since I read it, so maybe it would be different if I reread it. But this is one of the greats, in my opinion. I'll show it to you right here. JD says, sometimes I feel more executives are like FF and Superman. Great. Let's completely change them and make them unrecognizable. I'm exactly that way as well, JD. Good night, Penny. Take care, my dear. Have a great night. Let's see. First, I'll say, let's see. Here's my ideal 80s Watchmen cast if they had to make a movie. Manhattan, Walken. I could see that, actually. By now, Aykroyd. People have talked about that before. But back then, they mentioned him for it. Rorschach, Chris Lloyd. Yeah, absolutely. So Spectre, Barbara Hershey. There you go. Ozzy, Redford. Oh, man, would he be up for that? Comedian Nicholson. That's a good casting. I mean, that's good stuff there. That's good stuff, buddy. All right, so this is one of the greats right here, man. One of my faves. Skyrider of the Spaceways. Look at that 25-cent cover price because it was a double issue. 1968, so it was double priced. The Silver Surfer. I had reprints of this. Fantasy masterpieces. Now, this one, Sal Buscema inked John Buscema. The brothers Buscema did this one. So Loki's looking for some way to attack, Thor. He thinks about using the Hulk. That doesn't work. The Thing, Hercules. Then he finds the Silver Surfer. And somehow he tricks the Silver Surfer into attacking Thor. So it's just a big battle. Well, I won't spoil it for you. This is classic, though. This is one of the classic Silver Surfer panels right here of all time, though. Right here. And yeah, you should definitely track this one down and read it. Let's look at it from Ben's point of view. He's a pile of rocks and more than a half-naked silver alien is making time with his girl. Yeah, but come on now. Fanty, he didn't even try to reason with him. He didn't ask what's going on. He just showed up and punched him. Ben was out of line, man. And I love Ben. He's my favorite character. But come on, man. That was just so unnecessary. They even adapted this line, this panel, for that great episode called Doomsday, the final episode of the beautiful second season of the Fantastic Four animated show from 1996. And they opened up with this. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. An homage to this thing. Even they adapted all the lines. No longer shall the Silver Surfer be a part of man's insanity. Let humanity do what it will. As for me, I shall dwell amongst the beasts. Silver Surfer, I have found you, you jerkweed. Anyway, that's I won't spoiler it. No, just saying. Although I will review it one day, I guess. But I love that comic. Greatness. Absolute greatness, boys and girls. Oh, dear, oh, dear. So what else is going on out there? What else is going on out there? Hey, if you visit the things, girl, you need to be wearing pants. Ben wears shorts. Surfer wears less than Kazar. Well, I don't know, man. You're just reaching now. Fanty, you're just reaching. But it gave us one of the great superhero battles of all time, Fanty. So who am I to argue? You know what I mean? Stream Bean. Let's see. It gave us. This is one of my favorite comics of all time. So, let's see. Ben was not nice here, man. He just punches the Surfer face off. This is truly one of Kirby. This is one of my favorite Kirby works of all time, though, really. The world's greatest comic magazine. Man, we're having fun reviewing this on J-Man's channel. But there we go. Featuring the peerless power of the Silver Surfer. Look at that cover. Is that not a great cover? I always thought the Silver Surfer and the Vision could have been pals. Yeah, they really had the moping thing down. Sometimes they used to call him the Surfer, the Cosmic Crybaby. Wind Strikes. This is wrong though. This title, Wind Strikes the Silver Surfer. Hey, he got struck. He's going. Alicia won't answer. He's all pissed off. Bump. He's flying out there. And Surfer decides to go and he finds Alicia. Uh-oh. Why do you enter in such rage, my friend? So I was right. Stand away from him, baby. Do you hear? Get away from him. You figure it out. One of my favorite Kirby panels of all time. The bedwetting board brighter. Good one, D-Bud. Hey, at least when Ben is in a bad mood, he hits people who can take it. It's not like Ben took a poke at Louis Tully, who was just over borrowing a cup. Yeah, worse than someone who could take it, someone who could blast his ass into atoms. No excuse. So this is one of the greatest Kirby panels, in my opinion. Look at the dynamism and the power there. Joe Dog, what's up, dude? Yep, it's clobbering time. Why? What motive can he be? Why is he hitting me? Love this one right there. Time to fight, baby. Although, let's see, I love the Silver Surfer had a pretty good fight with the Hulk too, but I can't remember the actual issue number. Look at this page right here. God, that's so cool that Johnny and Wyatt Wingfoot are searching for the Inhumans. Indeed, Ravenscroft. Some great Kirby-ness right there. There's Lockjaw. Whoa, look at that, man. Look at the power. He kicks a rock into the Surfer. Hulk 250 had Hulk and Surfer fighting. Not sure if there was one before that. Oh, yeah, there was one. I'm talking about 250. No, not 250. I know what you're talking about with 250. I'm actually talking about before that, before it was the Hulk's mag. I think it was in Tales to Tales to Astonish. What Memory fought? I'll find it. Yeah. Anyway, senseless fun, but fun. What can you do? He tries to break the surfboard, but no. It's Lockjaw. Look at Ben. He's destroying buildings and shit. It's hilarious. Ben, damn it. Hey, look, we have letters pages in this one. I always love checking the letters pages to see if there's any names I recognize. Sometimes there are. Sometimes there aren't. Not in this one. Let's see. But there's a Oh, that might be it. Let me check. That one. J.D. Lewis. Let's see. Because I love some of those Hulk issues with Hulk in those. Damn it. Uh, all right. Okay, 92, did you say? Let's see here. Yeah, that was close. I think that's the one. No, I think it was around there though. No. There it is. 93. You were close, JD. 93. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks, Fanty. Hey, RRT and Zeb, what's up, buddy? He says, is it fair to say that many writers probably balked at the Silver Surfer as much like Superman, his immense power makes him difficult to write if you lack imagination and understanding? I think it's fair to say that. He didn't, his only series, his first series only lasted 18 issues, but later he had some longer runs. But yeah, I think it is fair to say that. That was definitely the way people think about Superman and the Silver Smurfer. Here you go. Bob. Now I think this is the one I'm thinking of. Maurice Severin, ink by Frank Giacoia. Yeah. Hulk just wanted the Surfer to take him away and his from puny humans. But at the time, Surfer couldn't leave the Earth. Yep. He was still stuck. He had the barrier on Earth. Oh, did he start in 92? Look, Subby's in there. Well, that's some great. Dan Atkins did some great art. Well, I love Dan Atkins' art. He was underrated. Look, it's beautiful. Submariner art there. Turning Point. Oh my God, I love Marie Severin. I love her Hulk. I'm gonna have. Okay, Ravenscroft, thanks for being here. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, Matthew Pounder. What is up, Kimasabi? Good to see you. See you later, alligator. All right, so God, I love this. Man, that's my era there, boy. That's my Hulk. Marie Severin was fantastic. Ever loving Hulk. Find the Hulk. And then no more human threats. No possible earthly power can affect the destiny or stay the hand of the Silver Surfer. So he met the Surfer at the end of 92. So you were right, actually, JD. And then, of course, boom. And Hulk just takes a poke at him. That's the way he rolls up in you. So great art by Marie Severin. One of the underrated artists of her time. And you look, she was told to do it like Jack, and she was. She was emulating Kirby, like everybody was at Marvel. But it was fine by me. She was one of the better ones at it, I'll tell you that. No one has the dynamism or the detail, but the figures and stuff. And look, she even used Kirby Crackles. Frank Giacoia knew how to do that. Wah, 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 wah. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see. Next, the new man. So basically, yeah, it didn't work out between the Surfer and Hulk. Man, these subby stories were so good with the art with Dan Atkins. Why, oh, why can't comics be this good again? Anime Night, hey there. RR. Can we agree that 2007 FF film got the Surfer mostly right? He felt truly otherworldly. Yeah, I think we can agree that they got him mostly right. There was a lot of other problems in the movie than that. Yeah, I think we can say it was a nice attempt, and just the movie had so many other issues that I won't forgive it for. But the Surfer is the best thing in that movie, probably. Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Well, I mean, yeah, at least you won't get an argument out of me about that. So, yeah. Stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere. He can breathe underwater and go flying through the air. Mighty but summer, prince of the deep. There's Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the deep. Can I get in trouble for that? Other than singing lousy, shitty singing, that is. If you involve my all-time favorite Galactus, it won't be good. If they involve Galactus will have some. If there's Surfers in there, Galactus somewhere. No, I love Dan Atkins inks over Wally Wood's pencils on Thunder Agents. Yes, JD, I love, man. No one ever it's criminal how much no one talks about Thunder Agents. One night, I'm just going to talk about Thunder Agents. Nobody's going to want to listen. Nobody's going to give a crap, but I'm going to do it just so it'll be out there it'll exist. Someone talking about the freaking Thunder Agents again. I'm going to do a deep dive on them first. Go back and read all of my old Thunder Agents comics. I mean, I love Dan Atkins. He was just terrific. I'm going to go back and read my, I loved him on Doctor Strange, too. I mean, he was a great inker later, but he was a great penciler. I mean, he was just superb. And this one, Bill Everett, man. Bill Everett came back. This title had a lot of great art. The creator, Bill Everett. Man, Bill Everett could still draw at this point, too. Jesus. It's kind of a hint of his Golden Age style, but he kind of, he evolved it. Stronger than a whale. He can swim anywhere. He can breathe underwater. Go fly through the air. Oh, Anime Night. You know Thunder Agents. Thank goodness, man. So few do. Well, thank you, JD. I'll do it just for you and me, buddy. We'll have a few others who like it, though, so that's cool. I wish that Marvel Comics, says Parker, would listen to its readers. They mostly ignore what we want from their creative ideas in today's comic letters pages, because right now it's all just wrong of being laid out. It's all just wrong of being. Yeah, well, I hear you, buddy. I'm glad to hear that anime that you know about Thunder Agents, because I'm going to tell you what, it's doomed, and no one ever really knew about it. Somebody needs to throw out the occasional Imperious Rex. Imperious Rex! How about the voice? He was voiced by John Vernon on the old cartoon. As the Hulk, this Hulk story has more Marie Severin greatness. Look at that, man. Does Hulk ever look? I mean, she's one of my favorites. I love John as well, John Severin. Good God. That's Hulk there, baby. What's ever loving Hulk? Hulk. Herb Trimp inked this one, man. Herb Trimp. He was young at this point. Hey, look. It's the High Evolutionary. I am the High Evolutionary. I am the High Evolutionary. Oh, look, I love Sal's Hulk, Joe Dog. I love it, man. I edit myself some. I edit myself some good copies of those Marvel superheroes cartoons. Nice, says D Bud. Nice, dude. Marie wasn't the best inking or something. I agree, but she was. There were a lot of times she didn't get a chance to do it, as you probably know, Matthew, because deadlines and stuff like that, and they had her doing so much. But this is beautiful work right here, and her Trimby inking is pretty good, though. A world he never made. Hulk and the Submariner. Marie and Herb Trimpe on the art on that one. I don't know what got me on this one, so I'm just looking at some server stuff, but now I can't stop looking at it. Roy Thomas, Raymond Marius. Oh man, can this Bill Everett comic survive Vinnie Coletta as the inker? Oh shit. It's still good, but man, you can see we're Vinnie. I guess it's not too bad. But it's still Vince Coletta. Oh boy. Oh shit. I'm sorry, everybody. I just wanted to look at some old funny books. I like doing that. Bill Everett, Vince Coletta again. Imperious Rex. I am the voice of the Silver Surfer, but also the voice of Submariner, because Silver Surfer wasn't on these cartoons. Stronger than a whale. He could swim anywhere. He could breathe underwater. He could fly into the air. All right, there we go. Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays. Time to turn into the Hulk and kick some crappers. Maurice Severin, Herb Trimpe. Anyway, great stuff, folks. Sorry about all that. I just I get to looking at that stuff and I can't stop. Oh, so JD Lewis, what did you do you have all, I mean, do you have like reprints of all the Thunder Agents? I know they did some archives. I don't have all the issues anymore, of course. But I know they probably have some of them online, I guess, but they've been, I don't know, man. There have been a lot of Thunder Agents comics. Might go back and read the old Tower issues. Go, Godzilla. Go to watch him. Go. By Poseidon's trident. Excuse me. By Poseidon's trident, you are now double secret probation. Thus speaks the true Submariner, Namor, the first avenging son. Imperious Rex, yes. Had some issues, but mostly archives. Yeah, they did archives of them at least. Because they're in the public domain, aren't they now? I know DC got their hands on them, but then later IDW got them. They've switched hands. Marvel never had them for some reason, but a bunch of other companies have had. In fact, I knew a guy back in the 80s or 90s who ended up buying up the rights to them, but eventually he lost the rights. Hey, could not be reached for further comment. What's up, dude? RR says, hot take. I like to burn Submariner run, especially the Invaders Reunion. Well, you probably have a lot of people that agree with you on that. I don't know if it's there's no such thing as a hot take around here, but if that means what I think it means, does that mean like you Does that mean? Does that mean you think like it would be not a popular take around here? No, I think a lot of people like that. I confess I wasn't big on it. I mean, I was mad at Byrne at the time, so I flipped it here and there, read a few here and there, but I never, I was pretty pissed at Byrne, so I didn't really mess with it too much. I think I looked at, in fact, I think that some of the few that I did look at were the Invaders things. I don't like what he did with was it? I kind of don't like the way he changed the Vision's origin, but it did allow him to use. I understand it allowed him to use Jim Hammond again, which I guess is kind of a good thing. Oh, could not be reached. Cool. Another Thunder Agents fan there. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if anyone's even heard of them. Here we got. I figured only my chat will you find people on YouTube that know who the Thunder Agents are. That you guys are the bestest. You got to be old, I guess, but David Singer, was it David Singer? Maybe that was the guy. I remember. All right, look, first of all, there were obviously the Tower comics. Could you imagine if Kirby had defected to Tower Comics like Ditko and Wally Wood wanted him to do, and Gil Kane, and Kirby had gone there and left Marvel for them early on, and what they would have done with the Thunder Agents? He'd have created so much great stuff for them. They probably it wouldn't be a Marvel Comics; it'd be Tower Comics right now. But anyway, neither here nor there. So there were the Tower Comics, and they didn't last long. And there were some good comics. I'm not saying they were better than Marvel at the time. I don't think they were, but they were still pretty good. Some real good ones. Then there was someone called Hall of Fame Comics. They did like one issue of the Thunder Agents. I remember I have that one. There were Deluxe Comics, had like 6 issues. They had some Perez art in those and some other art. I have those still somewhere. Then they were in a Justice Machine crossover thingy. Undersea Agent by Kane, yes, sir. I like No Man. And then remember, Penthouse Comics did Omni Comics. Remember Omni Magazine, but they had like Omni Comics. That's right, JD. It would have been a new golden age, sir. That's right. And then Omni Comics. Remember Paul Galassi? Somebody in Paul Galassi did one issue of that. It was pretty cool. It was supposed to be continued. We never got another one. I think that guy, John Carbano, whatever, actually self-deleted before they did any more of that one. That was in the mid-90s. John Platt, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. And then, remember, many years later, DC got a hold of it for a few years. I think it was Rob Liefeld or one of them. Short time. Then that fell apart. And then IDW did it for a year or two, or whatever. Then that fell apart. I don't think there's been a Thunder Agents comic since then that I can recall. I'll have to check and see. Let's do a search thingy. Let's see, because this might tell us here. If I'm doing this right. Gotta do it right here. Oops, hang on. All right, I'm gonna do a search here to see if how many Thunder Agents. Oops. Let's see. All right. Pick them all out here. See how many different series there was. Come on, man. What are you doing to me? All right. So, hey, Oliver Belamonte. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, yeah. The DC one run was rubbish. I agree. ORR says, well, Clobby, I know you are not a fan of Byrne's writing, and I love Thunder Agents. Cool, man. Another Thunder Agents fan. I love it. Especially No Man. He's my favorite as well. Although I do love Dynamo. And, of course, who doesn't love the Iron Maiden? I read the revival series that came after the 1983 Justice Machine annual. Yeah, deluxe comics. Great characters. Oh, that's cool, man. Love it. Okay, let's see here. Oh, let's see some other questions before I get onto that. Let's see. Justice Machine Annual, which I have that as well, was also the debut of Willingham's Elementals. True. First 12 issues that are amazing. I had those Elemental comics. Those were good. Clobby, you should cover the Savage Sword of Conan comics. I should, actually. I haven't done that. You know, it just depends. You mean the old series or the like the new one that they got out there or what? Fandy says, do you realize if they did a modern version of Justice Machine, no man would be no ma'am? You mean the Thunder Agents? Okay, so 1965, you had the Thunder Agents series for Tower, of course. Some looks like they're missing one, but they do have Wally Wood's Thunder Agents by Deluxe, which I have. The crappy DC one from 2011. Another crappy DC one from 2011. Then you have the IDW ones. Then there's Thunder Agents Classics. Who printed that? Let's see. IDW did one called. Oh, IDW must have reprinted the old stuff too. I know there's some archives out there. Let's see if they have. Oh man, they have all 20 issues of the original. I've been reading the first issues of Savage She-Hulk. Okay. Oh yeah, you know. Oh, the older ones, John Platt. I got you. I had some of those. I didn't buy Conan a lot. I was more of a superhero guy, but I did buy it sometimes, and I love the Barry Windsor Smith stuff and some of the John Buscema stuff. But I'll admit, I'd go to the magazine rack and flip Savage Sword of Conan, but I have to admit I didn't buy it that much because I was just buying other stuff. It was I had nothing against it. I just got other stuff, but I love Conan, personally. I mean, I love the 80s No Man. The 80s No Man by Ditko. Let's see. The 80s No Man. Let's see. All right. Lou DL. Okay. So here's Thunder Agents #1 there. Oh man. 25 cents. That was expensive in 1965. Thunder Agents. Introduction, first counter. They didn't scan these from the archives. The Higher United Nations Defense Enforcement Reserves. Man, there's Dynamo in the Menace of the Iron Fog. Len Brown. Look, Wallace Wood. Wally Wood was fantastic, man. Good God, he was great. Woo, there's the Iron Maiden, baby. Yeah, they were pretty big, D-Bud. They were definitely double sized. Chris Persia. Good night, brother. Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate all you do, buddy. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and I hope your father's doing better, buddy. Oh yeah. It was double the price of a Marvel comic, which is kind of probably what hurt him, to be honest, at the time. And their distribution wasn't, great. Here's my dude though. No man. No man. Yeah, so he was a great character, though. Thunder Agent No Man. Sure want to go through with this, Dr. Dunn? Look at me, young man. Need you ask? It will mean immortality if successful, but even if it does succeed, I know I will cease to be being human. But I'm an old man now, and this body of mine can't survive much longer. Anyway, even if the experiment is a failure, I won't have lost much. But we will miss you, your great mind, Doctor. After all, it was your experiments in collaboration with Professor Jennings before his death that perfected this experiment. Anyway, he goes into the machine. As you know, your entire mental makeup is being transferred to electronic impulses, which are re-etching it into the brains of the androids. God, it's so cool. There he goes. Boom. Yes, and it's worked perfectly. It was worth the risk. For the first time in years, I feel young and strong. Now the other experiment we planned, Doctor. Anyway, he's a great character. Part of the problem part of the problem was that Tower was distributed by DC, which buried it. Yep, DC had distribution rights at the time. They were distributing Marvel as well. The company that owned National Periodical Publications owned the magazine distribution company called Magazine Distribution, I think, actually, or something like that. But yeah, they were distributing Marvel and not allowing them to make that many books. And the problem is that Tower was on the hook for them as well. It just they didn't have a chance. Plus, again, they were pricing their books up there. Marvel made it. Tower didn't. Way it goes, baby. Anyway, it's cool to see stuff like that again. Now look at it one of these days. Who knows? I'm just glad there are a few people who remember them. John Platt says, Clobby, have you ever read or do you own any 2000 AD comics from the 1977 to 1980s and 1990s? Yes, John. In 1982, I started running the first comic shop down here in Louisiana where I live. I was a youngster. I was like, I was almost around 17, 18. And so I'm old. And we had, it's an interesting, at that time, before I started working there, obviously I only knew about American comics. I remember I just I started to help to open that shop up, and it turned out after a couple of months of running that shop, we moved around to a shopping center to a bigger location, and the owner I was working for, helping him run it, he ordered a bunch of these Titan albums. At the time, I didn't know what the hell that was. All I knew, I was branching my taste out a little bit as an 18-year-old into some of the more adult comics. But still, it was mostly mainstream stuff. We were seeing some independent comics, and some of the Titan distributors put out Judge Dredd albums, ABC Warriors, Rogue Trooper, Nemesis the Warlock, a few others, Robo Hunter, these 2000 AD comics, which I didn't know what that was at the time. And I remember I would look at those and I go, and I'd put them out there, but he wasn't selling them. So after a couple of months, he goes, "Why don't you try to sell these to people?" Hey, Mars Monkey Max, good to see you. Good. I'm just glad you're here. No, nothing to apologize about. So, John, I didn't want to. I'm like, I was so stuck in my mainstream stuff. I looked at, so he ordered me. Like, I want you to read about these. Take a look at them. See if you could tell people about them. So he made me take, and so I took home one of the Titans album. I'll never forget it. It was Judge Caligula Volume 1, which of course was reprints from Judge Dredd, progs of 2000 AD mag. As again. So I read it and just, man, I was mesmerized. I loved it so much. I came back to the store the next day. I bought it. I bought the second album, which had the second part of it. It reprinted. That was a obviously long running saga in each weekly prog of 2000 AD. It had a lot of Brian Boland art. The covers to the albums were Brian Boland. Not only did I buy that, and I read the second part, I got hooked on that. I went and bought the other Judge Dredd albums. I wanted anything I could consume of these 2000 AD comics. I didn't even know much about 2000 AD at that point. So I bought Nemesis the Warlock by, was it, Pat Mills, Kevin O'Neill. I bought Robo Hunter by, I think it was Ian Gibson did the art on it. I forget the writer at the time. I bought ABC Warriors. I bought a Rogue Trooper. So I bought all of those and just, I just loved them. I loved Warlock, and I love these books. Read the most, and so I really wanted to get me some 2080 issues. A couple of years or so later, I found somebody looking to get rid of a bunch. They brought them over to the shop, and they had a stack of the actual 2000 ADs, which were periodicals across the pond from me in the UK, but they had a bunch of them here, and so I bought the whole stack. Now, the Cursed Earth Titan albums, which were printed here, which had the Battle of the Bergen Barons Wars in them, were supposed to be in there. They were cut out of the American version of the Titan albums and never reprinted again. But I managed to get those comics, those 2000 ADs that had the original stories in there. They've since put them back in, but back then they didn't reprint that in the story. So, man, I got the Judge Dredd book. I became hooked on, just a huge fan of 2000 AD characters. I loved them all. I also eventually I bought all the Titan albums, Ballad of Halo Jones, DR and Quench's awesome, totally awesome Guide to Life, Alan Moore's Twisted Times, and Alan Moore's Shocking Futures, Skiz, Slain. I didn't like Slain as much, but it was cool. So I became in the 80s. I became hooked on 2000 AD and characters and stuff. I still love Judge Dredd to this day, but I obviously hadn't read any modern ones much. But then, of course, through the 90s, again, you couldn't get 2000 AD that regularly, but but I loved it. Adam Warlock is great. Monkey Mars Max. I was talking about Nemesis the Warlock. But I do love Adam Warlock, Joe Dog. About a year or so ago on the great Nick Weiser's channel, the Friday Night Comic Shop boys and Nick and myself, we reviewed the entire Jim Starlin Warlock run. So I hope that answers your question, John Platt. Love me some 2000 AD. I mean, obviously I haven't bought it in a long, long time, but I love the old stuff. I love Judge Dredd. And yeah, so there you go. I wish someone would do a really great animated Judge Dredd movie or series and not do movies. I don't want any movies. I wasn't a big fan of either of those movies. Everyone loves the Dredd movie. I have a lot of problems with it. I know I'm the only person. You talk about a hot take, I'm the only one that has problems with that Dredd movie. Matthew Pounder says, lots of 2000 AD talent worked on Eagle. Yes, I got, we were getting a lot of those Eagle albums over here in the 80s, Matthew. I love Dan Dare. Yep, and I loved Warrior Magazine. We were able to get a bunch of those for a while. I don't have every issue. I got a friend of mine who has every issue. I loved it when we were able to get Marvel UK books, mags over here. Marvel UK, like the magazine Daredevils. Not Daredevil, but Daredevils. Marvel, the Captain Britain from over there. So yeah, man, great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, well, man, if they ever did some animated versions of the older 2000 AD, man, that would have been so cool. Because they won't do movies the way I want them. And then eventually, somewhere in the mid 80s, Eagle Comics, not to be confused with the Eagle stuff, the Eagle over there in the UK. There was an Eagle Comics branch over here that reprinted Judge Dredd stuff in the color format. Warrior was my favorite UK book, says J.D. Lewis. Yeah. Well, I had Marvel Man, Laser Racer Press Button, Big Ben, V for Vendetta. Yeah. Larry, I think Carl Urban was great as Dredd. It's just that to me, the movie didn't have what I wanted in it in terms of doing Dredd, the character properly and the characterization properly. D, hey, Don, Ranger Power. What's up, buddy? He said, Art Uncensored Raid. Okay, Art Uncensored, whoever that is. Shout out to Art Uncensored. And all. Hail everyone as well. Came from Luke K stream. Well, shout out to Luke K as well, where he drew the Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Well, that's very cool. Excellent. You are the Power Ranger king, buddy. Oliver Belamonte, R.I.P. Trina Robbins. I did not know she had passed. Writer, artist of Wonder Woman and Vampirella. Yes, she did a Wonder Woman comic. She was 85. Wow, Ramona Fraden, down her. Oh, and she designed the iconic costume of Vampirella. Oh, my goodness. I did not see that. R.I.P. She was a vaunted and a well-respected artist. Damn. Lost a lot of comic artists this year already. Probably there is a blinding moral duty on you to review Starlin's Dreadstar, at least issues 1 through 30 before it turned to crap. Yes, I'm with you. I do need to do that. I loved Starlin's Dreadstar, at least those early issues. Should I start with Metamorphosis Odyssey and do the Dreadstar graphic novel, then do the regular Epic run? Epic Comics. Don says, indeed, thanks. I'm a Super Sentai fan as well. Likewise, Overlord DVD. Yes, shout out to the great Doomcock, my good buddy. And shout out to Gary and all those people having fun in Vegas. Having the big thing going on over there. Don, it's fun to play with you. Oh, cool. So, yeah, that's a damn shame. Trina Robbins, huh? John Platt says, thanks, Clobby. I'm starting to collect old used original 2080 comics. Oh, man, I used to have such a bunch of those, man. I wish I still had mine. Comics from a Forbidden Planet store here in Belfast, Northern Ireland. I have about 8 issues from the 1980s. A great store and good oh man, dude, that's fantastic. Get those because there's so many of it. Everybody knows, and they're weekly. Now, I would ask you if you got some from the 80s, John, how are they holding up? They're on very, 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 very rough, coarse newsprint. If I remember my 2080s properly, are those still in pretty good shape? I mean, it obviously depends upon their environment, I suppose. I'm just curious. Just a question because I don't have I had when I closed I have my own shop, and people always say, "Oh, you have your own comic shop." I hate when I mention that, but when I closed down my own comic shop back in the late 80s, early 90s, I'd left one of them, and I had to, for whatever reason, some box got left behind. I can't remember what it had my 2000 ADs in them. Damn it! But I had a pretty good stack of them, that is. Stack stock. Yeah, some paper does not do well over the years. A lot of mine have fallen apart, says Matthew Pounder. I was afraid of that. That was not great paper. It was pretty flimsy. Yes, please do the price. Metamorphosis, obviously the price, and then Dreadstar. I need to do it, man. You are correct. I got so much that I'm reviewing now, but I mean, maybe I'll see with J-Man and Sean if they want to do it one of these days, because I think they would like it. Man, it's been so long. Excuse me. It's been so long since I've read a Dreadstar. But I remember I got hooked on it in the early 80s or whatever it was, mid 80s, early 80s. There was a number of issues into the run already, and I remember really having it recommended to me. And when I started reading, and I went back and got all the issues I needed of that one. Remember that when someone would recommend a comic to you those days where you'd have to go and backtrack the back issues because there wasn't a trade. God, you're old if you remember that. I mean, now everything has a trade, which is great. Incidentally, you might go, "Oh, is that good? I'll go get that trade." And then, of course, there's that smart ass. Everyone's met that smart ass when you go. It's a hell so and so comic when you're buying the floppies each month, and you say, "Oh, it's really good," and they go, "Oh, okay, I'll wait for the trade." Hey, yeah. The old wait for the trade, people, which is why they started. Unfortunately, that ruined everything in comics. Just when comics were relatively normal, not like the trash show they are now, and they started writing everything for the freaking trades instead of just writing good stories, good one-issue stories. That's why we lost the one-issue story. Because trade paperbacks, God bless them. Ain't nothing I love more than getting a cheap trade, getting cheap trade paperbacks of great stories and stuff. However, when it's an older story, it's just it's a compilation. At some point, editorial staff started having their people write for the trade. In other words, they didn't say, "Hey, this is a good idea for a story." Okay, well, that's about one issue. Can you stretch that out to 4 so we can put a trade out? Or that's going a little bit long. Cut it up so we can make a trade. Patrick Britt, hey there. He said, "Did you still have all of those long boxes of comics from your store, or have you offloaded most of those books since then?" I got rid of those way back. I only kept some stuff for myself. Eventually, somewhere in the late 80s, 90s, or early 2000s, I switched everything, what few I have left, to short boxes so I could fit everything better. Long boxes really get on my nerves, but for the most part, I have nothing left of my old store stock. I got rid of all of that over the course. I sold it to various friends' shops and stuff like that. And then out of a horrible, sad, sick act of desperation in the mid to late 90s, 96, 97, somewhere up in there, something I meant to keep. I wanted to keep my wonderful Fantastic Four collection. I ended up having to sell that off, which kills me. But yeah, so I don't have any of it anymore, Patrick, unfortunately. J.D. Lewis, good night, buddy. Thank you, man. Thanks for being here, bro. It's always good to see you. John Platt says, to answer your question, Clobby, the secondhand 2080 back issues are in like old newspaper style stock, but the issues FP Belfast still are in real. Oh, okay, good condition, and they're bagged up to preserve them. Well, that's good. Glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that. I know you. I'm glad you take care of them because those are not printed on the best paper. Funnest part of my childhood is when I took Kung Fu and learned how to break rocks with my hand. Oh, very good. That's a good thing to learn. I got a Dreadstar #1 years ago. Oh, in rough shape from a bargain bin. It's amazing. Love reading it. I fill in the gaps with online versions. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, and by the way, I love the comic. Look, I love the trades and I love the hardcover, all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, it was kind of cool. It was something about it when you had to go backtrack the back issues if you wanted to read something. Don't get me wrong, it's just as cool. It's really great that you can, get a compilation or even digital if you just want to read it. I know that's sacrilege, but here's the thing: why I don't mind digital, even though if I like to own the book. If the story and the art are what matter the most. However, that gets to somebody's through somebody's eyes into their head for enjoyment. Whatever the vessel, that's fine by me. A collector's different. That said, it's something to be said for holding it in your hand and reading it. But I'm saying if you just want to read it, and I like some of these sites that do put the books on there. They say, "Hey, look, you like it? Please go buy it." So support your local comic shops and stuff. Own it. And I think most people do. And I got a friend of mine who doesn't have the great eyesight anymore, so he needs the digital to be able to read. And yet he still likes to have the physicals when he can. There's also space to consider. For me, I don't have any space for anymore. I had all the Fantastic Four up to 300. Wow, Patrick, there you go. I sold them all except for #1 about 18 years ago. I regret it. I'm right there with you, dude. I had Okay, from 1 to about 80, I had some gaps, but not a lot of them. I had an FF number 1 in horrible shape. I had a couple early ones like that in really nice shape. It varied. So I didn't have the complete run yet, but from about 80 something to 250, I was solid run. And then I got rid of everything after that because I didn't want it. I just wanted to have, I wanted to try to complete the collection from 1 to 250, and that's all I wanted. And then, of course, later, my copy of Fantastic 451, my all-time favorite issue, this monster, I got signed by Jack Kirby. I got Jack to sign it for me in 1986. So I didn't sell that one. I kept that one, of course. But I had to sell all the other ones. And, yeah. Sucks, man. I really regret it. Just like you, man. I'm such an idiot. I hate myself for it. Hate. Rest in peace, Trina. Yes, indeed. Trina Robbins, R.I.P. I did not hear about that. It must have just came down. I mean, Ramona Fraden just a couple of weeks ago. Last week, Mark Bright. Obviously the Ed Piscor thing. And then of course, not too long back, maybe it was last year now, Keith Giffen. And I think there were a couple of others. Yeah. Well, I've been saying it for a while. Comics keeps losing everybody. I think it was just not within about a year or give or take, the great, John Romita Sr. passed. Losing all of them. From the golden age, I can't think of anybody left. I know there's some, but I'm hard pressed to think of anyone from the golden age is still with us. The silver age, I mean, technically, I think Trina, I don't know if Trina may have started in golden. I know she worked at the silver age. And Ramona Fraden actually sort of started in the golden age. Sort of. So there were like a couple, but silver agers. Well, Jim Steranko still with us. Thank goodness. And he does date back to the silver age. Roy Thomas is still with us. He's in silver age, I guess. Actually started, pretty much silver. Yeah. Mars Lucky Max says, Bobby, I love the late 80s, early 90s era. That was my time. I understand. Patrick Britt says, I have a Stanley signed Captain America 100 first Silver Age Cap issue. That at Avengers number 4, where they find Captain Frozen Ice, my treasures. Yeah, I hear you. The only thing that bothers me about that, Patrick, is Stanley did not, his name was on those, but he did not co-create Captain America. And I hate it that when he signed stuff like that, but he did credit himself with participated in the writing. So, and that still, so that is fantastic. And I just wish, he would always make it clear that he didn't, he should have made it clear that he didn't, but still, I think that is very cool. And cherish those forever, sir. You figure if someone was 20 in 1944, they'd be 100 this year. Yeah, huh? Yeah, it's a good point, boy. That's a good part there. John Platt says, the older 2080 stories that I find hard to get are the Flesh comic run. Oh, wow. Which is a great tale about Dino cattle wranglers from the future that time traveled to Jurassic era to kill dinos for meat and gory Reed. Was that John, did they do any Titan albums on those? Maybe not. I mean, Titan still does albums. Maybe they didn't do any on that one. Because I don't think let's see. I don't remember seeing any of that. RTZ, thank you for the super chat, bud. Appreciate that. He says, I love these streams. Well, thanks, man. They are a nostalgic stroll through the greatest era of comics. untroubled by the current day dog shite. Yes, absolutely, buddy. Could not agree more, and you are too kind. Thank you for that, buddy. Let's give you a video. Let's see, what's a crazy one we could play here? I don't know. How about this one?
Inconceivable. 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 You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
It is green.
No bloody A, B, C, or D.
Get those nerds! 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 What?
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
Are you saying Clobby is old? Well, of course I'm old. I don't think I'm as old as Fanty, though. I don't think I'm as old as Fanty. Back issue 144 did a story on the Flesh. Oh, okay. Guagnar. I have that issue. Of course, that's recent, too, isn't it? Oh, hell yeah, that's recent. Damn, how did I... Back issue magazine is the greatest. I love it. So I can't believe I missed that one. But thank you, Fanty. Guag. Sorry. Guag, I mean. Guagnar was like me, reads that. DJ played ice. Hey. Well, thank you for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, my friend. You be safe too. Absolutely. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, Fanty says we can pretty much all agree no one ever thought comics would turn to complete crap. Yeah, not complete crap. Like, in other words, we knew there would be shitty ones and the rule would be more shitty than good ones. I was kind of there, but yeah, I understand. Matthew Pounder says a collection of the Scream comic is coming out this month with Alan Moore stories. Wow. Scream comic. I've tried getting Flesh an omnibus hardback book edition, but every time I look it up online, it doesn't bring anything. So there's no omnibus back yet. I got you. Just no, you are slightly older than I am. As old as Charlie X. Both of us showed up September 1566. Wait a minute. What year were you born there, Fanty? I might be older than you. Okay, I thought you were older than me. Damn it. The only one older than us is D-Bud, then, looks like. If you're not older than me, then at least D-Bud is. Yeah. I don't get to be the I don't get to oh man, I got 2 years on you, younger. Damn it, I thought I was older than you. Oh well, I got you. Ah, crap. Well, at least I still got D-Bud. I know he's older. D-Bud is older than the wheel, says MMM D-Bud. You gonna let him get away with that? Patrick Britt says it's a good time to go back and buy old issues. Yes. Prices of back issues are coming down significantly. Okay. Well, that's good. Like I say, I don't have a lot of room for anything. Hey, look who's here. Look who is here, up in here.
I thought you invented the wheel. And didn't Eric Kay say that your first comics were written in stone?
Yeah. But he meant they were inked by Chickstone. D-Bud said, I'm so old, I need to go to bed now. Good night. Oh, okay.
Good night,
D-Bud. All right, old
bye.
sir. All right, you old sir, you. Good buddy. Good to see you, buddy. Take care, man. Good night to the great D-Bud Martin. Now, Larry's probably older than me. Come on, Larry. Don't let me down. You're older than me. Hey, dearest. What's up, dearest? Good to see you. If you were in here before, I may have missed you because I was doing something. I'm sorry.
I hate missing people. I do that sometimes too. Never on purpose if we miss someone.
I bet you Larry's older than me. Come on, I need somebody to be older than me now that D-Bud's gone.
You remember Eisenhower as president?
Yeah. Wait a minute. 50s.
You like Ike?
50s, baby. Does that mean you were born in the 50s, or you're just in your 50s? Because so am I. I mean, in fact, I'm almost done with mine. Well, put it this way: LBJ was president when I was born. So that's how many presidents? Too many that I've lived through. Patty says, I'm pretty sure there are several here born in the 60s. I'm one of them, but the latter end of the decade. Yeah, there you go. Well, you are too. You were born in the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, you were born in the 50s? Oh, Ella. Oh, good. Thank you. You're the elder statesman. There you go, Larry. Now you're like Minimus. You were born in the 50s. There you go.
I was 68, so I guess LBJ was still president in 68, right? So
you were born in 68, so yeah, LBJ was still president. We both had the same president.
Yeah, Nixon came in 69. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. There you go. All right. I was born on the cusp of the baby boom there, Larry. So I have to be called a boomer. I'm a boomer. Anyway. So there you go. What you up to? What's going on with you?
Oh, not much. Yep. Just trying to get a lot of projects done for work and volunteer work and such. So I was lurking for a little bit listening, but
that's cool. Garrus spent too much on comics than he should have today. Uh-oh. Well, did you get anything good? Or were they new comics at least? Or, I mean, not new. I mean, were they good old comics? Were they new comics, Darius? You could tell us. We won't laugh at you. We'll just laugh at Mark.
Yeah, when I buy new comics, yeah.
Did you have any new ones? Or no?
None this. Oh, I think I showed them, didn't I? Yeah, I showed them all. Not from the last batch. Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
Didn't we
recently?
Didn't I show these?
I don't know. You probably did. You haven't got any lately, have you?
No, I get them every 2 weeks.
Monday night. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
John Platt says, I pay about 2 to 5 pounds for my 2000 AD secondhand issues and 4 to 8 for my Silver Age issues of Marvel Eternals and Alpha Flight. Gotcha. There you go. That would actually be Bronze Age. Cool. My dad was 33. My dad was 33, and my mom was 48. Says Mars Monkey. And Oliver says the French subtle folie du on the Joker 2 film means madness of 2, or I got subtitle. You mean? Yeah, I'm sorry. Or folly of 2. Got you covered. The movie bored. I mean, if the movie's as boring as the trailer, then we're in trouble. Fanty says, no, I think Larry was in the 1850s. Whoa, Larry, that's him, not me. Then he was just Larry. When he got to the 1950s, he became Larry. In 26 years, he'll be Larry. He's already Larry to me. Dearest says, some new, some old. Daredevil 111. Oh, wow. Cool. New Transformers, plus the new Conan trade. Oh, excellent. Don't worry.
Yeah, Nick Wise says are great.
Single issues. I have the single issues too. Yeah. Is the new Conan trade, you mean based on that current series they got in their trade already?
Yeah, they do trades right away. Yep.
Oh, that's right. I have the first issue of that.
Well, there's the Surfer if anyone hadn't seen that lately.
Nice.
And then, of course, you guys were talking old British comics, right? So maybe some people haven't seen these, but
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and let me switch my mic here.
Show them. Yeah, Daredevil 111. Wasn't that when it was Daredevil and the Black Widow? Double price, double when they were both in the series. You could enlarge it and go full screen.
Oh, no, I just turned the power button off.
I'll do it.
I hit the power button, of course.
Oops.
There we go. It's coming back online. Yep.
Oop, crap.
It's got that. It's booting. Yep, there we go. So most of you.
Titan run. Okay, there you go. If you have the single issues, you're allowed to get the trade paperback. That's fair.
That's a rule.
This is another reason why I want to just see Mark to earn this one.
God damn it, Mark.
Because he found this.
Your agonizer, please.
Didn't you just find this about a year or so ago?
It's in my basement. I think a friend gave them to me, or I bought them at like a flea market.
Every issue?
I think. No, just the first 3, but
First 3 issues of Warrior. Look at that.
I found it in my basement.
Oh my goodness!
In my magazine collection.
Even I never got the first couple. I think I got a bunch of them.
At one point,
I know
not to
Minimus
make
got
it feel worse, but
I think I was there was some I was missing some, but I already had the reprints of and other things of it, so it didn't matter. And the stories I needed, but I don't know if I had the first issues. I can't remember now. Probably not. I'm thinking no, but I couldn't swear. I'm going to be going through all that stuff eventually. But anyway, that magazine was, their mags were different size than ours.
Yeah, these are huge. Yeah, I'll show you compared to a normal. I had to cut the custom cut the backing
to cut
board.
A treasury bag. Huh?
Yeah, I had to cut a treasury bag to get it to work. Yep. And then I think I used a treasury bag and cut that down. So here's to compare the.
That's a comic though.
Yeah, normal comic to.
They're even their regular their mags are slightly bigger than our regular magazine size stuff. Like a Starlog or whatever.
So that's quite a bit bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
This is my favorite cover of the 3,
Shimoda, did you ever read Marvel Man / Miracle Man yet? Great stuff.
Oh, yeah. Love those.
Have you read those? Oh, I love them. That was so good, man.
Issue 15, that's a scary one.
That's the scariest comic I've ever read in my life.
Yeah.
Well, one day I ought to review that, but I can't even show it. I don't know if I can even show that sucker. It would be disturbing to show that on the
we could
on
gloss
the stream.
over those, or you can cover up. I can cover up the images so you just see the text box. But yeah, so it was, and these weren't even bagged that well too. When I found them in my magazines shelf, I forgot I had them, and then they were in bags that it was like how those onion bags with the holes in them for air. It was like, oh shit, these aren't even protected, and I'm like, that's number 1. Crap. Quality magazine, yeah. So, yeah, classic.
Love it. Quality magazine.
Classic British comics. Yep, and of course I have the wrong Silver Surfer now. I got to get a new one, but
very cool
to match.
Oh yeah,
Shalabal Silver Surfer.
Of course.
Fortunately, so that's not going to be worth anything anymore. I got to throw away all my Silver Surfer comics and get the 3 issues that she's in, or 2 issues. What she had 2 issues?
John Platt says, Blobby, what do you think of the WW2 vampire supernatural horror story in 2008 called Friends of the Eastern Front, about a squad of vampires fighting the Russians with Germans on the Russian front? Sounds like Creature Commandos. I've never read that one. When was that? I haven't read 2008 in a long, long time. I had a bunch of them in the 80s, but so I've not read that one, sir. I've got some original Life magazines. Some are bagged, no boards. Can't find boards big enough. Yeah, even Treasury board. I have Treasury bags and boards.
Well, they do sell Life magazine boards, bags.
They do have boards for that. Okay.
Yep.
Just got to find them. They do make them, Larry.
Yeah, Larry, they do sell. Go to Atomic Empire. Sell them there.
Man, I need. I've told you before. I need magazine bags and boards, but they're so freaking expensive, and I need I need some boxes too, but they're so damn expensive, man. Those things are crazy. So you can imagine how the treasuries were. I still have some treasury bags and boards left, a few because I'm but still. Yep,
yeah,
first Marvel Man. Yeah, that's right. First Marvel Man story.
Yeah, so let me check if they have.
Well, the first Alan Moore Marvel Man, not the first Marvel Man story, but the first Alan Moore one. Marvel Man existed before that.
Yep. So they've got BCW Life. BCW makes these. So Life magazine bags. They ain't cheap. $15 for 100, and the boards are uber expensive. $32 for Life magazine. Yep.
Oh yeah, but I just say regular ones. But yeah, I got a bag up my. I think the friend.
Ultra Pro is only $11 for the bag. So the board. I don't know why the boards are so expensive.
John, I never read those. Cool. Now again, I was never able to read it regularly, unfortunately. So
well, the problem is too if you don't have that many. Like I have what 5 treasuries or 6 treasuries. So
yeah.
I bought
Hey,
I
hey
bought them.
Lasher. Let's see. Been fun. I need to head off to bed. Still not retired yet. Have a great evening. Well, Patrick, thank you so much for being here, man. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great one. It's always great to have you here, my friend. Take care and have a great day. Lasher, what's up, Lasher? Says, what bag and boards do you recommend, and how do you feel about Mylar? What do you think about Mylar?
Let's see. I usually buy what's cheapest what I can get.
Yeah,
but BCW is usually what I go with.
They don't. Do they make Mylar ones for comics anymore?
I don't know if they. I think they do. Yeah. Let me see what. Most of them are polypropylene. I mean, wasn't the Mylar super expensive?
Yeah, I don't even bother. I never bothered with that Mylar personally, Lasher. I just get the regular bags.
What I've done with
I don't like Mylar. I think they're too crispy. They're too.
Yeah, they don't look good on there. But what I've been doing is buying top loaders for some of my more important comics. Of course, Mylar's. I mean, bags I can protect you, but some like my FF49 and I bought some Silver Age and Golden Age top loaders just to put them in there because God forbid, even though they're bagged and boarded, you never know in the box or something. Even when you pull it out, something could go wrong. But let's see. And I always buy resealable bags because God, the tape is so bad. And then the tape, whenever you take the comic out of the bag, it always gets caught on the cover, right?
I worked out. I bagged and boarded so many comics. I worked out a system to keep that from. I became a pro at stopping that. I had it worked out and everything. It's been a while since I bagged and boarded, so I'd probably be, but I can get them in and out like a pro.
Taking them out in is no problem, but taking them out, it's like
I can get them out like a pro though because I got used to that. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Well, putting them in when the tape's on there ain't easy either. If the tape's already on there, putting them back.
Oh yeah, if the tape's already in there. Yeah. That's
yeah.
But no tape.
It's kind of something that was kind of. I actually used to enjoy like having big old stacks of comics or mags to
just go through
the bag and board. Sit there for like just watching something, just like doing something weirdly soothing about that. For sure. I guess it's in comic book geeks.
Relaxing, yeah. I always try to get my kids to.
John, thank you so much for being here tonight, buddy. I appreciate you, man. So got to go now. I'm about to start work. Now catch you all later for more classic comics talk. It's been fun talking with you, Clobby, and the chat's by. Thank you, John. Have a great day at work. Appreciate you so much, man. We're glad to have you here.
Great to have you here, John. Take care.
And MMM says, Clobby, Mark.
Don't forget to hit subscribe. Sorry.
Thank you. He did, I'm sure. We're all men. He said, you are all men's men. You two are truly amazing for this era. It's great to see men like you in the comics world, a true treasure. Well, that is way, way, way too kind for you, Mars, Monkey Max. But we do appreciate it, man. We're just a couple of the guys here. We're fellow geeks, like everybody. We just, it's like I always say, it's like just being at the comic shop. You go. I miss the days where I actually cared enough to go get comics. Where I would go on a Wednesday, when new comic day, and I'd get in there like 5-6 o'clock in the afternoon after work, whatever. And just hang and shoot the check with the boys, just sit for an hour or two. And I used to drive my son crazy sometimes when we were working together. We were riding back and forth together. When I go get my new comics, I go, I'm only gonna be 5 minutes, I promise. I 2 hours later, I'm outside, and they said, "What happened? Did you start?" And he knows good and well I started some conversation that I couldn't stop with 5-6 people hanging around. But that's just what it's like here. So we like to all. It's just that's why we all started going out to like I said, many, many, many years ago when we're all, going to the comic shop. We all said a thing. Look, once a month, let's all just go out to eat. Hey, Wes Cagle.
Hey, Wes. Yeah, I've got to throw that away. I guess that statue away since that's not really the Silver Surfer. So
no, that's not Shalabal.
Yeah. But maybe I could. This is probably the greatest collectible I have.
Thanks, John Platt. Appreciate you, buddy. So what now? Oh, you guys have stuck. Who told you to put that on this channel? Oh man, no.
Are you auction that off for charity?
Are you crazy?
It's clobbering time!
Nuts.
Draw that man in a chicken suit.
Crazy.
Your agonizer, please.
That's disturbing. Why would you show that?
Because I'm still disturbed by it.
You should put it on. Now, if you're going to show that again, you got to wear it.
I got to wear it. Yeah.
RR. If you ever do review Miracle Man 15, I'd love to be on that stream. I still have my original copy. Well, you're in. I'd love to have you on there, but I don't know how. I don't think I could, in good conscience, show that on the screen.
Well, you could skip
talk
those
about
pages.
it, but yeah, we could talk about it. But yeah.
Oh, and also I can cover up the, if I have the image, I can. What do you do? White it out, or you put a. Yeah, you put a cover, a graphic over it, like I do on Toxic Tuesday with Matt.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, I would do that for you.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Dear says, I have to look at everything. I'll just start flipping through the long boxes. Then 2 hours later, the owner is telling me it's closing time. I hear you. Oliver Mutt says, I'm so overcautious of seeing yellowing on the backing board of my comics as I immediately take them out and buy new boards. Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. Well, I know. Were you about to say something? I'm sorry.
I can't remember now. No, that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shit. Miss Trek Saturday night caught late night showing of Godzilla X Kong. I liked it. I liked it too last year. Cool. And that's okay. We love when you show up. We understand.
That's right.
Right. Well, I like that movie.
At least you weren't seeing the Barbie movie, right?
Yeah, if you're seeing the Barbie movie, we would have to put you in the agony booth for sure. If you were sitting, if you missed Saturday Night Star Trek to watch the Barbie movie, then we'd have to say
Your agonizer, please.
But for a cool movie like Godzilla X Kong, that's cool. Appreciate you, Lasser. That's cool. Man. So yeah. But yes, sir. What else is going on up in with your bad self?
With my bad self, hopefully with the good self, right? Yeah.
Look who's talking. You have a Barbie Funko.
I do, yeah.
Jesus.
You let me on the channel too, yeah.
Just take the board, put a chick on it, and make it. Yeah.
It was a gift from my my son's girlfriend, a joke gift for
and
Christmas.
It's a lovely gift too. Very nice.
Yep. So I can't say anything. Yeah.
No, you can't. It's a beautiful gift, and I think
sub to the channel if I showed it on. So I got a sub out of it. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, very sweet of her to do that. Very nice.
Yeah.
Did she think you were like a Barbie fan or something?
Of course, yeah. She couldn't everyone tell by going to my office with all my Barbie stuff.
All your Barbie stuff. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I do have another Barbie. Hold on, let me show you.
Oh my goodness! Send the Barbie Funko to the winner. Really? That doesn't count.
That's a Invisible Woman Barbie.
I have yeah, I don't have. I have the one that's I have the one that's Reed and Sue, and I guess it was considered like Barbies. You know what I'm talking about? The double set with them. Was that Barbies though, or was it just Migos?
This is just That's just Barbie. Yep.
I mean, was the one I'm talking about? Was that Migos or Barbies?
I think that was Barbies. I do have.
Yeah, I think
I do have. And I also have Captain Kirk.
I think it was just like a Migo thing.
The Star Trek one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mrs. Piggy's a Barbie. See, that's a Miss Piggy Barbie.
Can never have too many toys, right?
Pigs in space.
I got a good review of that set on my channel. That's an old one, but yeah.
Of what?
Of Pigs in Space. That's an old video on there, but yeah.
Yep.
If anyone wants to search for it, or I'll find it. Yeah.
Russ Cagle says, "How could anyone miss Saturday Night Star Trek? Voyager is the bestest Star Trek show ever. Ever. Yeah. Did you get to watch the first episode of the new
Disgrace Ring
STD yet?
I did not. I know I.
Well, the reason I I asked for a reason, not just because not to talk about the crap so much because you didn't see it yet. Because I was watching Doomcock and his boys eviscerate the crap out of it. They watched it, and that was pretty funny. It almost made me want to watch it to see how bad it is. Almost, I'm not going to do it. But
well, I hear they crash a spaceship into two spaceships into the planet, and I saw the clip on Twitter. To stop an avalanche.
I didn't get to that part before I had to start the show, but they were talking about how Doomcock said, and I guess I'm about to go back and watch. He said the stupidest thing he's ever seen on any of the Clutchman Trek, and he said that's saying something. That made me curious. I'm like, wow, because we know how he is about it.
Yeah.
So there's something stupider on this one. Wagner says, "Don't make anyone." No, I'm not. I wouldn't make anyone watch that. I'm saying Doomcock made it sound pretty funny, but no. They reviewed the first episode of SCD and Pop Culture Breakdown. So I'm saying I was listening to that before I went on the air at West. I'm like, it almost made me curious. I didn't get to hear the end of it because I had to go on. But it sounded pretty horrible, all the stuff they were saying. I'll probably just go back and watch them say it so I don't have to watch the crap. Because it's actually on YouTube.
They made the first episode is usually available for free. Yeah.
That's pretty I actually had Paramount, but yeah. So,
but I mean, that's some of the worst. I mean, forget is it Star Trek? Not Star Trek? That's another whole debate. But it's some of the worst TV I've ever freaking seen. I mean, even if it was true to the characters, in a perfect world, it'd be like watching Alternative Factor for 4 or 5 seasons straight.
Even if you'd never seen Trek, at the end of the old one, so you didn't have a dog in the hunt, and you just wanted to watch a show, it's even horrible. Right?
It's that bad, yeah. And I think the first season is actually now the best season relative to all the other seasons. I mean, I haven't watched them all.
Are they still like in the far, far future or something?
Well, they went to the future after Mikey Spock got her Iron Man armor, and was it the 3rd season? They went 1,000 years into the future, and then the great thing about it is they have for increased maneuverability, the nacelles on the ships are all detached now, and they're held by force fields. It's a nightmare for anyone trying to build spaceships. So the nacelles detach for maneuverability. It's
like crashing 2 starships into a planet to stop an avalanche, and then having them fly away without a scratch was complete. Oh my God, 2 starships.
That's what I heard they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was defined. I mean, that defies. I mean, it's almost like they're just trying to make it worse if they're trying to be stupid. I mean, it's like, we'll see what they buy. Let me just say, look, I bet you we can find some idiots that like this no matter what we do. Oh, come on. You can't. They're probably sitting there and look. I'm telling you, there's some people that actually still defend this shit. How about we up the ante? They defended all this horrible crap we've done. What if we crash a couple of spaceships into a planet and then fly them off? Just to stop an avalanche. Someone go, oh, come on, now you're just being silly. Nobody's going to buy that. Even those idiots that like this show and defend it are not going to defend that. And one's go, no, I bet you they will. No, come on, man. That's a little. Yeah. We can do some crazy shit that's stupid, but there's no one's. I mean, even we think it's stupid. Even those writers probably think it's stupid. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. They probably don't. I'm just having a little fun here, by the way, folks. I'm not giving them any credit.
Yeah.
I'm just having a little fun here. They're going, no, come on, boss. Are you serious? We can't do that. That was so stupid. I'm telling you, they'll go for it. Doesn't matter what we do, and they'll defend it. And any of those, the great thing is when those real Trek fans out there who hate it and trash, they'll just still call them bigots for trashing it. No matter what we do, they'll still call the people we don't like bigots for not liking our show. Edge of Time. I guarantee it. I'm not guaranteed. I'm just saying it's a fun goof. I'm giving them way too much credit. But you can't seriously sit there and look at the script. I mean, can you? And go, yeah, let's crash 2 ships into a planet to stop an avalanche, and then they're going to be able to fly away.
Yeah.
It's not if they crash into the planet for something from a good reason, maybe to stop. First of all, how they're stopping? Why that stops an avalanche? It's just like I don't even understand.
Can't you use phasers for that and like melt the snow?
There's all kind of shit you can do.
If it's a snow avalanche, I mean, can you just melt it?
Right.
It's 1,000 years in the future. Why don't you have robots that or some other way of doing it? I mean,
but to crash, not land even. Like they're crashing according to what everyone's saying.
yeah, I mean the clip is on Twitter if you do it, yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'll watch it later. I might watch that scene. But I'm saying, wait a minute. So, like, on purpose, then they're like, okay, we're good. Whoop, we can take off again. Right? Is that what I'm understanding here?
I think that's what they're doing. They
I haven't
just
even
fly
seen
away,
it.
right?
I'm like, you gotta be. I mean, that's the most brilliant show ever. Now I think it's the greatest show ever made. I've decided to change my mind on STD, folks. If they actually had the, oh Jesus Christ, I better not watch it. I'll probably laugh until it hurts and probably like fall down. Yeah, well, that's a good point, Darius. You would think crashing a ship into a mountain would cause an avalanche. Yes, I guess not. And this is one of those planets that's weird that way, right? It says like reverse gravity. I can't even understand it, man. I don't understand how crashing into a planet stops an avalanche. Do you? You hadn't seen it yet.
Well, I mean, I saw it. No, I saw the clip. I guess the hulls like scrape up, into the planet and like scrape up the planet.
Like spoon?
Like a spoon almost, yeah. Kind of like when the D crashes when Deanna Troi is at the helm,
and then is destroyed.
Yeah.
So
let's see if I can find the clip. I think it was Doom.
Steven Ernest, stay there. What's that? I can't show it. We can't.
No, but I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat if anyone wants to watch it.
So it's on YouTube. I mean, you can just take flash.
Well, that scene, like people had clipped that scene, and we're showing it on Twitter, and I think maybe it was Doomcock or someone, making fun of it,
yeah,
it was just so bad, yeah.
Wow, somebody look. I'm convinced now that this show is about trolling at this point. You can't be serious. They crash the saucer section into the ground and use the ship's shields to stop the avalanche. Oh, that's fantastic. Clip the scene and put it on X, said the Gwag. Okay. Let me see. I gotta find your page, Gwag. Did you tag me or no? I want to I gotta see it. Now I really gotta see it. Let's see if I can find Gwag. Gwag, I'm looking for your page, buddy.
And I guess Saru is in love with the Vulcan now.
What?
I guess Saru is in love with the Vulcan. Well, you don't watch the show now, but with the Vulcan. And then the Vulcans and Romulans have reunited, so. And the ship.
Oh, yeah. You
sent it to me. So horrible.
There you go. Gwag sent it to me on Twit. I'm seeing it now. Ah, they're like scoops.
Scaping, like, aren't they scooping? They're scooping. Yeah, they're like scooping it up. Yeah,
there it is. That's the greatest show ever made. I love it now. I'm a big fan.
Why don't they just send Bob the Builder to do that?
Oh God. Nice. I have the Star Trek Barbie one. Oh, cool. Thank you, Gwag. Thanks, Gwag, by the way.
And Gwagner, you've watched it. It looks like there's a character that looks like Data in the.
Yeah, they got
premiere.
they got a Sung robot. No, that's a robot created by Sung. Well, I heard him talking about it. Well, they crashed the ships into the plane. The fact that the avalanche was able to maintain its momentum, moving along the flat plane, is hysterical in of itself. Gwag, you rock. I can't believe I'm looking at it again. The spoons. Oh no, that's the Discovery, and what's the other ship? What the hell stupid ship is that?
Is that book ship?
Oh. That's a stupid looking ship too.
Yeah, none of the ships look good. The ships are all.
That's the pizza cutter. They're digging into the sand, right? And then I can't really see the second GIF much. They're just kind of. They're scooping. They're like scoops, right?
Yeah, the scoop, like Bob the Builder. Yeah.
Do you have a bigger one on your page there, Gwag? Let's see. I must have a big one. He sent me some. Oh, there you go. Oh, I'm just looking at this now. It barely scratches the paint.
Well, we got shields, right? Yeah.
Right. I'm not so sure that's how it works for starships, dude. They would crack. I mean, they would go into pieces in an atmosphere.
I think so, yeah.
This is a planet. Well, man, when Enterprise D hit Viridian 3 or whatever, I mean, it busted into a zillion pieces.
Yeah.
And they had shields and all. I don't mean the shields aren't that strong. And then this in an atmosphere. Isn't there is it a Class M planet? Yep. Science schmience. That's stupid. Woo, God almighty. So
It's
like you
hysterical.
said, like Gwag said when he sent it to me, he said, this was somehow written, filmed, and shown on TV. Well, streams anyway. To about 30 people, but yeah. Wow, Jesus Christ. I think, oh man, almost because I had to dump out. I had to leave to start the show. Doomcock was getting to that part, and I didn't get to hear it. Wow, man, that is okay. Those of you who've actually sat through this piece of crap show, like you have, for example, and others, those who've sat through them all, have you seen anything stupider than that on the show? I know that's a lot of competition. I get it.
I've seen equally stupid stuff on that show, but that's up there.
That's down there. Wow.
And just the way the characters act. I mean, not like they would be in Starfleet.
I understand that. Okay, let me refine my question. Science-wise, or credibility-wise, just credibility-wise, like something.
Well, the whole thing with Pike, they had this Klingon artifact that would let him see the future.
Yeah, that was stupid, but
I mean, I guess you could mumbo jumbo your way through that. Tilly, now God bless her, she's dimensionally challenged like me, so I'm not picking on her for her size, but
yeah, she used to look halfway decent.
She ain't skinny. All right, we'll put it that way. So and I'm not saying to make fun of anyone because of the way they look, but if I was in a running race, I ain't doing that well. So in the third season, was it the second season or third? She's run, she's the whole point of her character arc is like training to be captain. And so she's running a marathon on the ship. Either it's a marathon or some kind of running race on the Discovery. And of course, the ship is big enough they can run around the ship because the Discovery is massive. And she stops and talks to this other genius who has figured out a way to weld dilithium crystals, basically, which they forget later on down in the next season. She stops for like 5 minutes. Then she starts running again and beats all these incredibly fit people. And actually rewound the episode. I'm like, did she stop running for like 5 minutes to have this conversation and talk to this
tortoise in the hair? It's the tortoise in the hair, right?
Yeah, and then she ends up winning the race against like super fit, triathletes. So it was like, what the hell did I just see?
That's pretty bad. Last year, I agree. The crash in Trek 3 was very sad. It makes me cry every time. My God, Bones.
Yeah,
what have I done? So, wowzer, man. Holy shit. I remember in NPR talking about STD. The host distinctly did not like Tilly at all. Said she was a dumb character. That's putting it mildly. In the first season, she just looked like a big girl who was not horrible, not really a bad looker, and just not, at least I thought. And now she looks. Look again.
Well, no, but
I live in a glass house.
Character.
Yeah. I'm just talking about looks, though. I live in a glass house, but then I'm not a member of Starfleet. This is supposed to be. There's no way that girl.
Life, so.
But that girl does not look like anyone that would be in Starfleet.
Well, in the future, you'd think they'd have a
spot.
pill you could pop, and then that's it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mikey Spock held her breath and jumped room from room in an open space. I saw that one in the first.
Yeah,
It was in space. It was like it was just holding her breath. There was no atmosphere. There was space, right?
Yeah, but she's Mikey Spock.
Yeah,
maybe the space suit. Maybe the uniforms help with that.
Jesus Christ! Holy crap! So this is now starships can be used as spoons.
Yeah,
the pizza cutter and the spoon thing or whatever. Oh my God, man, that's hilarious. They're trolling at this point. They're like, we can just do anything we want. We're stuck here. We got to find some way to stop this. In their stupid story, we got to find some way to stop this freaking avalanche. Why don't we just use certain you're better off just making up some gobbledygook about a tractor beam or something. About some kind of force.
Made,
combining both tractor beams or some kind of horse hockey. You got the ships.
Yeah, or do a force field. Yeah. And of course, they reopened a TNG mystery, I guess, to start. Yeah, they're pulling back to TNG. Yep.
Oh wow!
With, the episode. The episode where Picard's mentor was the archaeologist, and he found the message from the other. I mean, I know but I'm just saying.
The chase.
Yeah, and which was a pretty decent episode. They found the message from the people who seeded the galaxy.
Right.
So they're calling back to that now. Yep.
Of course, the preservers. That freaking figures. The STD, they have a personal transporter so they don't have to walk anywhere. Is that true?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the personal transporters.
Okay. Let's say baby cried and destroyed all of the lithium in the universe because the mineral bonded to its DNA. I heard about that.
Yeah. And then they forgot that terrible. The Romulans use singularities to travel faster than warp speed. At warp speed, I mean. And so and Hail Wade, Real Wade Nation, and they forgot that they forgot that, and they forgot that this other, super duper female scientist had created a way to fix the dilithium crystals. They forgot that. Like that was when Tilly was jogging. Totally forgot it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The uniforms suck too.
If you're watching that stuff if you're watching that show unironically, you astound me. You can, if you just like a mindless shit show, you don't mind if it, that's cool, I guess. But it's I don't know. It's tough,
like what you want to.
It's almost tough to hate it because it's so stupid. It's like maybe they're just trolling at this point. They figured, look, we know that most of the fans hate us, but we're getting paid to do this schlock. And it's called Star Trek, and no one really watches it. But the ratings suck. But that's okay. It's just enough for us to get paid long enough till somebody decides, wow, they're wasting money. This is the last season of STD, isn't it?
It's a waste of what?
This is the last season of STD, right?
Oh yeah. So I thought you said it's a waste. A waste.
Oh, it's always been a waste.
Yeah,
that's always been a waste.
Yeah.
And they're not going to make P Hard anymore, fortunately. And Strangled Do Worms, I hope that's the last season of that shit. Probably not.
No, that's going to keep going. Yep.
Oh, boy. Well, more power to them. Keep making your dog shit. Somebody will not watch it, like us. Except for you. You will watch it. I got to admit, I'm guilty of watching Strangled Do Worms because it's more of a freak show. Because it's actually trashing stuff I care about. The STD people, I don't give a shit about them, even though it's trash. But it gave us Strangled Do Worms. But yeah, oh boy. Well, let's start moseying on out here real quick. Max Redstone says, if I can find a used Rolls Royce for less than $20,000, I'm going to buy it, and I want that Silver Surfer to replace the hood ornament. Pardon me, the spirit of ecstasy.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, cool as a hood ornament.
It would. And STD,
put that on my truck. Yeah.
Yep, you should. In STD season 3, Tilly got to be captain for 5 minutes before she lost the ship to pirates. So Mikey Spock could save the day because only she can. Writing so poor that it even ruins their own shit.
Oh yeah, I remember that episode. Yeah, that was on the. They went to an ice planet there. Oh god, that was a horrible episode. Well, they're all pretty horrible.
Wax says the dialogue in this episode was the most non-Trek I've ever heard. And again, that's the 5th season opener, so that's saying something considering how the horrible show, what's been on there already. And Lasher says, "Hey, what's that TNG episode where Picard keeps missing the Admiral dinner or meeting? That's oh yeah. That was one where I'm trying to think. He was didn't the ship get hijacked or something?
The ship's been hijacked.
I'm trying to think. I know what you're talking about, Lasher, but I'm drawing. I remember because it was this function he didn't want to go to.
Yeah. With the guy that kept talking and talking and talking and
no, that was a different one.
That's a different one.
That was the one. That was Starship Mine.
That was the diplomats, right? Yeah.
And this was the one where this Admiral conference. He was told he was going to be in trouble if he didn't go to it, and he kept making excuses to the Admiral because something was going on. But damn it, Lasher, I can't remember now, dude. I know what you're talking about. Somebody here will probably remember it though. We have the best crew in the fleet right here. Someone will get. Anyone remember that episode?
Yeah,
because I'm vague on it. Oh, the metaphase.
Was the guy talk too much? Was it the guy that talked too much?
We might have it here. No, that's a different one. That's the one where Picard, had the Die Hard episode.
Yeah.
Let's see. The metaphasic creatures in the conduits. Says Empress in M. Is that it?
Well, let me look at my list of TNG episodes. Unfortunately, there's so many of them. Later in the.
Well, someone will get it. Okay, is that it? Data has the dreams or something? Guy who talked too much was Starship Mine. Yeah, that was the Die Hard episode. Yeah. But I know what you mean. But I do remember the Admiral being pissed off at him because he had to, Picard didn't want to go to it.
Yeah.
Silence. I'm working on my recreation of the theme from Peter Gunn. In honor of the Henry Mancini Cemetery. Well, that's a worthy thing to work on, Don. No problem at all. We're just glad you're here, buddy, and it's good to see you. Thank you. So, I can't. The episode. I only remember that scene that last year. I only remember that bit. I'm having trouble remembering the plot of that episode. So, okay. The warp engines keep failing due to the creatures in the pipes. I got you. I just can't remember the name of the episode. Yeah, I love Peter Gunn theme. That's a great one there, Don. That's one of the great TV themes.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah.
Phantasms is the episode where Data has the dreams. That's it. Phantasms. Okay. What season was that one? Anybody know? Well, someone will figure it out. Hey, if there's a geek question here and one of us can't remember, one of us will get it. We're that good. This is where all who seek geek knowledge should come to this stream, and one of us will get it, even if my shitty old man's memory can't bring it back. 7 seasons, says Wes. Yeah, cool.
That was number 158. That was season 7, episode 6. Fantastic.
There you go. Max has got it.
Written by Brandon Braga.
6th episode of season 7, says Wes. There you go. All right. What's it called again? Phantasms?
Yeah, Data experiences a dream. Captain P. Hart is invited to a formal admiral's dinner, an event that he's been trying to avoid for several years as it'd be rather boring. Unable to provide excuses, rows Enterprise towards Starbase 219, where the banquet is to be held, but they find the new warp drive will not engage. Data and Chief Engineer LaForge attempt to diagnose the problem, but after double checking the new configuration, the engine refuses to engage.
Excellent.
Let's see. So that was the episode. Yep.
Ah, thank you. Well, we sussed it out. Now you know what to watch. Last year, I'm sure you got I'm sure you have access to them. Look at Don, man, with his shirt. Boys, I'm wearing my TNG Command Red uniform shirt. Among the items I bought on Amazon. Well, that's cool. Cool in the gang, buddy. I like it. Look at look at look. I don't. Do we have that clip? I don't know. You know what clip I wanted to get from you? I forgot. I want to get that Silver Surfer clip, the Denzel Washington clip from you.
Oh, I'll put that on right now. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I think we should play that. Right,
we got to delete something maybe, but let's see.
That's all right. Look. Let's see what I can delete here. Do. Okay, I got
pictures you can delete.
I know there's one I can delete right here. Neelix's stupid face. Oh, and I don't want to see that lobster anymore either. I'm sick of lobsters. I made a lot of room.
There we go.
Cool. Would you like some toast? So, not my pleasure. My pleasure. Last year we liked doing that kind of stuff around here. As Max said, I quit SCD between seasons 2 and 4. Season 2, episode 4 and episode 5. They had music and voiceover narration in the cold open 2 episodes in a row. That was after Tig Notaro. Oh, boy, she's terrible. The Cedars who look suspiciously like the Changelings.
Yeah.
You have to set an example even in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby's Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
Nice. Thanks.
There you go.
Anyone know why Star Trek changed the color of the command uniforms from gold in TOS to red in TNG? Well, I don't know why. I mean, maybe I'm sure someone does, by the way, Wes. I admit that I'm not sure why. Remember they did, Wrath of Khan, everything was just red. And yeah, I don't know, man. Because as much as I love Wrath of Khan, I wish they'd there's a picture out there where someone did a what you call it, Photoshop, making their uniforms with the color structure of the original series. So I mean,
yeah, I saw that. It didn't look good actually, which was weird.
I saw one that looked good. I mean, I've seen some. I think they look great. With it had there were Wrath of Khan uniforms, but Kirk had gold, and Spock had blue, that sort of thing.
Oh, I saw them with the TNG uniforms. Like it didn't look. The TNG uniforms don't look good with the the colors with the TOS colors. It was weird.
Oh, did they do that? They haven't seen, but I've seen.
Yeah.
So I wish the Wrath of Khan had done that, but I don't know. You don't think Picard should have had the? I
don't know. There's something about. I'm just so used to it now. Maybe that I guess if
maybe we're just used to it, though. Yeah.
I think we're just used to it, but yeah, maybe there's something I just didn't like about the gold. I guess with the.
Yeah, dearest. Unless he might be talking about something in the stream, but a ways back. But yeah, I do love Buscema's Silver Surfer.
I guess you're right. Yeah, once they did the Wrath of Khan going to the red for Kirk, they kind of just and having everyone having the red, it kind of was in your brain like that's command now, right? When they got rid of the colors, so then when it went back to TNG, maybe they just felt that the red was, more epic. I don't know. I mean, I do like that deep red. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's picking on the Denzel clip. I got you. I love Buscema's, but Kirby's the creator, so
He's the Roy Kirk.
He said, "Oops." I typed. To be honest, I hated TNG. What I meant was, to be honest, I hated TNG mystery malfunction episodes where something goes wrong, and Geordi and Data Techno babbled to a solution that took exactly 40 minutes. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Because up there it just said. You forgot to put the set. Yeah, I got you. Oh, I got you, dearest. Yeah, I do. Well, look, the argument that's being had in that movie, Tarantino wrote that argument, and the guys were fighting about who he said Mobius's Silver Surfer was better than Kirby's or whatever. So anyway, The Mobius Silver Surfer, I love. I mean, no one's going to knock Mobius, but Kirby's definitive because he created him. He's my favorite too, but I love John Buscema's. And there are other artists who did pretty good surfers, and there are others that didn't. Yep. So anyway, now we're going to start the movie on out here.
Let's get on out of here.
I actually
got to get up early tomorrow. Unfortunately,
one-piece uniforms. Oh, you do? Okay. All right, everybody. So thank you all for being here with us tonight. Really appreciate it. You got to give it anything to report or talk about?
Well, looking forward to the clubhouse tomorrow night. I'll be doing a watch party, of course, for Blake 7 at 9:05. I got a meeting, so hopefully I'll be home in time. I'm going to try to squeeze in a Kolchak, the Night Stalker watch party. If I didn't have to get up so damn early, I'd do one late night. But I think you can find Kolchak on the interwebs pretty easily. Blake 7 might be tougher to find, so looking forward to the watch party and hanging out for the clubhouse. And we got some good episodes of Blake 7 coming. I mean, they're always good, but some really good
ones man
up. I think my favorite episodes. Yeah.
Some of my favorites are coming up.
Yeah.
So okay, well, thanks, dude.
Are we doing the comic book tomorrow too, or
yes? Yep. Yes. Let's
read that.
Yeah, I just read it. So, I think I read it once before, but I mean, all right. So let's see what's going on up in folks. Let's see. Tomorrow night, of course, as Mark said, that clubhouse is in session. They're wonderful. First Officer, the great Commander R.M. Briggs, is going to be here with us. And we've got Blake 7 episode countdown. We've got the second episode of Kolchak the Night Stalker. We got the first issue of Star Trek Unlimited. Going to try to squeeze all those reviews in there. We'll do them fast. And then Friday night, continuing Fantastic Friday. Started last week on the great J-Man's channel, J-Man, Sean, and myself. Reviewing Jack King Kirby's legendary run on the world's greatest comic magazine, Fantastic Four 1 through 102, 1 through 6 of the annuals 1 through 6, I should say. Every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you were a comics fan and one of the most important runs of all the comics, the great Jack Kirby's work, we're celebrating that wonderful, wonderful work there. So that's a lot of fun. And then sometimes I'm hanging out on the 32 Flavors of Nick Wazzer, my buddy, his channel. The Friday Night Comic Shop Talk, 8:30 Central, with the Comic Shop gang of the Friday Night Comic Shop gang. Great guys. And looking forward to that. And then, of course, this Saturday Night Star Trek. 4 more scintillating episodes of Star Trek Voyager. All of my shows are 9 p.m. Central Standard Central Standard Time, all 4 of them. So that is, of course, this one, same Trek time, same Clobby channel. Looking forward to that. And then, of course, End Your Week in Geek. The great The Seas channel, the Chief Engineer, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Sunday Night Geekery and Eatery. So that is what we got going on up in here. Let's shout out our folks, our friends, our wrenches. Of course, Eric K. Hope he's having fun in Vegas. He's in Vegas.
He's in Vegas, right? Yeah.
The gang, yeah. Chris Persia, D. Bud Martin, Lord Thoth, J-Man, Maddie's Daddy, Kal-El, Maximum Redstone, Phantom Outsider, and Larry. Now let's see who is here with us in the chat. Of course, Gwagnar, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Don, Ranger Power. Thank you, buddy. Mars Monkey Max. Thank you. Stephen Mack. Hey there. Again, have a good night. Good to see you. Wes Cagle. Stephen Ernest. Oliver Belamonte. Dearest. RRTNZ. Let's see. Mars Monkey Max. Oh, I said okay. Hang on.
I think you did. Yeah.
Yep. Empress NM. Putin's cat. Lasher. Okay. Let's see who else we have. Up in here. Could not be reached for further comment. I know we got a few more. Don't worry, folks. We're gonna get them all. Get you all. Real Wade Nation Gaming Live. Matthew Pounder, my friend. Patrick Britt was here. Also, John Platt. Want to thank you all, our friends from other side of the world. Great, so great and honored to have you. So great to have them here. You weren't here. You chat here. Wah, wah, wah. I've got to kick myself in the face for that song. Edge of Time. Come on now. Looks like I know I didn't get everybody yet, but I'll get close.
Getting there, yeah.
I'm busy chat tonight, so yeah. But I think so. A lot of, even though it's busy, a lot of the same people, it's tough to get to a new one I hadn't gotten to.
Yeah,
right,
yep.
You know what I mean? But we will. There will be some. Joe Dog, see? Told you. Guys like the Joe Dog man was here. JD Lewis was here. I remember that distinctly. DJ Play Nice. All righty then. I know I said RRT and Z, but I'll say it again because thank you for that super chat, buddy. Appreciate you. And RIP Trina Robbins, absolutely. Another comic book legend gone. It's the last two have been lady legends. That's weird. Well, not the last two, but there have been two of them in the past couple of past months.
Yep.
Yeah. And we mentioned Mark Bright had passed also. All right, so I think we are vamping almost there. Anime Night, Parker Luck. All right. Ravenscroft was here. Penny was here as well. Now I'm going to start thinking that we're getting close to covering everything. I think we've got pretty much everybody. Okay, I'm going to go way, way, way out on a limb and say that we've got everyone who was here tonight. I think I've named them all except for Darth, of course. But obviously, Darth, and K. Roberts. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, obviously, we have them too. We have Real Nation Gaming Clips, which is different from Real Nation Gaming Live.
Well, it's the same person. That's Wade, but
he uses both of them. Okay, that's nice of him.
Well, he could be he's multiple man.
Okay, good. Salty Traveling Sea, my friend.
Salty.
Brogu from my old hometown. Adrian James. David Glenn. Simply Steve. He's the Steve I know. I know he's not the Steve I know. Oh. All right. So now I'm going to go way, 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 way out on the limb and say that I'm confident that I got everybody.
Neelix.
Except for Claude Sowling, of course. I mean, other than Claude, because we knew I was going to get him. And I knew I was going to get him, of course. And now I'm really almost there. There's also Suzanne Eckstein was here. See? Obviously, I meant, I was going to, and FKH, Tim.
Yeah.
And that's everybody, now unless somebody popped in at the end there and got in there. All right. So, thank you all, everyone. Thank you if you were lurking tonight. Thank you if you were watching on a download rerun. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you all here tomorrow night for the Clubhouse. Good night, everybody. Clobberin.
Wow.
know the game? You're a dumbass.
Double dumbass on you! You have to set an example even in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
Groovy.
I just love clobbering time.